Freaking Wi-Fi fell immediately, and we're live.
Yeah, that's what we are. Darashikage, are you in the audience?
Darashikage?
If you are, let us know how your drunkenness compares to yesterday. Are you more drunk, less drunk, equally as drunk? Just let us know.
Bro, you know what we need? We need Darashikage on specifically to do a drunk intro. Welcome back
dude.
to the talk.
We could have had Darashikage on yesterday to demonstrate the drunken fist.
No, but Darashikage would only call himself Luke.
I know that neither of us really drink very much, but we got to do the drunken fist at some point. So let's write that in podcast
I love
topics.
that. I'm down. I'm so down. I love the idea of one of us does the drunken fist, the other does the loopy fist, and we see which one is stronger.
We'll have to really dissect the difference between the drunken and loopy fist.
Ultimately, there isn't gonna be one. We're just both gonna get drunk and punch each other.
Yeah. But it'll be funny when we try to flip-flop. We're like, all right, now let's switch. And we just try to do what we think is switch.
No, even more fun, outside of, like, fighting while drunk, we should try to do Lee's ridiculous acrobat fight moves while drunk.
Yeah.
like the handstand backwards multi-kick thing. We gotta try that while drunk.
Actually, let me, I already know what you're referencing. Handstand backwards kick thing drunk Lee does to Kimimaro.
Bro,
I think, okay, so obviously we're not going to do this because I don't think we could ever gain the supplies to do this. However, I will say, if we wanted to do the loopy fist differently from drunken fist, I think the way to do it would be with laughing gas, like they use for like wisdom teeth, that makes you quote unquote loopy. That would probably be like the way to do it.
See, now I would like to
can we get like a dentist to just give us this?
The problem is because like I was thinking about the best way to do it would be if we could get our hands on medicine, but like I feel like that might be illegal and dangerous.
Oh, absolutely. Like I mean, I'm not gonna say the drunken fist isn't dangerous, but like at least it's legal. The other one, I'm not sure if that would be, if you can legally get, maybe you could get a prescription just for this. But what doctor's gonna prescribe it to you?
It's for my health, I promise.
It's for my mental health. Yeah, if maybe Trippy's a doctor, and that's why he's been so busy, and he can just prescribe it to us legally, and we won't say a word.
Okay, what medicine would we even choose for that? Because I feel like a lot of them would just give us a stomach ache, and that's it. Like, we might just throw up, but we're not gonna get loopy.
Well, like I said, the one you would use is the one they use for the wisdom teeth that makes you all like the laughing gas.
Okay, that's not medicine though.
The problem is, when you have that, I've never had it. Do they stay awake the whole time while just being goofy and stuff, or do they fall asleep like typical anesthesia?
I'm pretty sure they're goofy until they fall asleep. I mean, drunk people pass out too.
But like. The problem is, let's just say they fall asleep. How long does it take? Because if they fall asleep in like 2 minutes, that's a pretty short test before you just passed out.
I don't know. I feel like if you're actively fighting, then that duration might increase. Like,
who knows?
God.
I know. The anesthesia I had after my car accident, when I had to get my nose a little bit fixed up, at least. If that shit just put me out like immediately, bro, I feel like it was like 2 seconds. I was just asleep.
Okay, fair enough. So
if it's anything like that, we cannot use that one.
We would
the sleepy fist, however, that's when you use that medicine. But we could also just use melatonin.
Could we? Okay, this is awful. This is the worst idea I've ever had. We're never gonna turn this into a video. This is more like a parody, if anything. We should go to like a depression center or something to find someone for the anxiety fist.
Oh god. Yeah, I'll just go
Like
find
a
your
psych
most
ward.
anxiety friend you have.
Yes.
I'd make him anxious and then have him do the fist.
That's
Oh,
probably the most
actually, I'm pretty sure we
diabolical
already wrote
thing
this
we've
down,
said.
but we can definitely do the seasick fist.
Yes, that one's easy.
Which, I granted, I don't get seasick, but I'm thinking we can just be on a canoe and try.
I wonder how quickly we would
There
tip
won't
it
be any
over.
throwing up, but at the very least, we could be wobbly. Maybe if we combine the drunken fist with the canoe, we'll actually get seasickness.
Just to make it not tip over immediately, there should be no grabbing or anything. It's just punch and step back.
Yeah. Bro, this shit's gonna tip over the moment we say go.
You know what? Just for extra pizzazz, we should do kicking only in the canoe.
It's a one hit and done.
For both of us.
Yeah, because like the thing is we don't know exactly how it would go, but because I'm heavier, I have the advantage in the sense of my kick's likely gonna push you off easier than yours will do to me.
Yeah.
However, because I'm heavier, every time I lean or step, I'm more likely to tip the canoe on myself. So no matter what, we're screwed. So like I don't know how it would play out with that in mind.
Oh, that's so good. Okay. One more thing to write down, at least for right now. I would be really interested in trying to do Lee's sleep laying down dodge thing. So like one person would have like a baseball bat. So it's still gonna hurt if it hits you. And like that's incentive to try to roll out of the way while lying down as quickly as you can.
Let's not do something like a baseball bat. Let's try something like softer.
I mean, I feel like baseball bats are fine if it's like a wooden bat. Even a metal bat, I feel like isn't bad. Like it's way better than a spike.
Well, definitely better than a spike, but
like we don't have
I don't know if you've ever been hit by a baseball bat, but that's just asking for a major concussion. So
I'm not thinking for aiming at the head. Jeez.
I mean, Kimimura was aiming for Lee's head.
Oh, okay, listen. I feel like the chest, it's not going to break any bones. I feel like we'd be fine.
Yeah, but that's going to be a lot harder. How do you dodge with that?
I mean, that's how we did it.
Okay, this one is even sillier, but my idea was to get like a balloon sword, basically, which you could really just get like a long balloon tube thing. And you go for the head, but it's a balloon. So it's not going to hurt if it hits you, but you're going to know if it hit you, right? Like...
Yeah. I feel like maybe like a styrofoam thing then. I don't know, maybe
styrofoam
like
would work, yeah.
Maybe something
like a
with
styrofoam
rubber.
bat. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like it to be something that like hurts slightly, maybe. At least a little bit.
Masochist.
We'll be drunk, you won't feel it.
Yeah, true. I don't know how we would ever get a toy scythe that does this, but if we can get a toy scythe, okay, maybe we can just tie a rope to a toy scythe and try to do the heat-on rope nonsense. Also, there was just like a spider flying in the air. I swatted it with a realizing it was a spider, think it was something else, and now I don't know where it is.
Oh, you know what would be really fun? Okay, you know how people do like the axe throwing in real life or whatever? People just do that. So, okay, what if we get like,
that's a thing.
Maybe not an axe, but like some kind of big hatchet, and we do the thing to where we both throw it into a tree. And then with that, whenever we're solid, whenever we think we got a good hit into the tree and the axe is stuck in the tree, then, and we also have to do it sideways, then we try and step on it like Zabuza did.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
That might just straight up be dangerous and a terrible idea, but I want to see if I can put my body weight on it.
If we just, well, if it's like a small, like it's not we're not doing it like 20 feet off, you know, if we're doing like a 3 foot height step on, you know.
I like the idea.
Where the hell did this spider go? Wish I knew. Spider, I would have conned it with a towel.
Chat, do you have
Oh,
any
yes,
ideas
yes.
for what to do? So, by the way, in reference to the stream title, hey guys, hey Adam, hey Space, didn't you guys already do your predictions? So this isn't predictions, this is the spoilers. Apparently the spoilers are out, Kamui. Did you know about this? The spoilers, they're out?
No.
Well, okay, well here, let me share my screen of which we troubleshooted a solution to.
Yes.
I think this is Immortal! Immortal, you can join if you want. So Immortal, did you know that chapter 13 is out? Like Boruto chapter 13 it's out. Via Naruto Explained. Naruto Explained leaked the chapter. The spoilers are just out. And so you right here's the biggest way you can see the thumbnail. Chapter 13 preview.
I saw the preview, yeah. Well, I saw
So
the
it's out.
thumbnail, not the video.
Well, chapter 13 is out, so there you go. So, what did you think of chapter 13, Kamui?
Well, so wait, is it just that stupid volume release thing
I'm
that
guessing
doesn't
so.
actually
I haven't
spoil the
seen
chapter
either.
whatsoever?
Yeah, the thing we already looked at. I bet you it is what it is. No, I was thinking that the second I saw it.
Yeah.
Because also it makes sense with like the title of the video, Boruto's destruction of Konoha confirmed. Like, isn't that basically what it was saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I was saying something about like whatever the word it was. I remember we were like talking about the word. We looked it up.
Oh yeah, and it was
disarray or whatever the thing was.
It was the fall of Konoha. Ah, I like it.
Yeah,
it's not in this
something
though.
like that.
It's just straight. There's nothing here unless I'm missing it.
Maybe we have to listen to it.
Yeah,
like at least at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait,
it's right here.
there it is. Yeah,
yeah, that is it. Okay. Well, all right. Well,
it's not a chapter 13 teaser, my butt, bro.
Just you wait till Konoha's destroyed in chapter 13.
I wonder what this 12-minute video even says about it.
I mean, how long was our video? I feel like we yapped about it for a long duration.
But that's okay. But two things. One, we are a different breed of existence.
One of his priorities.
It's both of us together on live on a goofy podcast, not one of us scripting a video.
True.
Now, granted, I have done like a 8-minute video on Jura at the bookstore. I remember I did something ridiculous there. But first of all, it's me. And second of all, it was the actual chapter spoiler rather than this volume preview of something we basically already knew. It's not anything new.
Yeah.
So I wonder what he says. We're not reacting to it today, though.
Oh, you're absolutely right. We're not. I have a Boruto chapter 12 leak thumbnail that I never use. I'm just gonna change this to a 3. How do I make a bigger pin brush on paint? I feel like it's just gonna be small.
I don't know. You're asking the wrong guy.
Yeah, that's not gonna work. I can't even zoom in, bro. This is awful. Yes, I can. No, I can't. Oh my god, what is this? Why? Oh, it's the... Okay, it is the size. Okay, this works. Chapter 13. That's so bad. Put it out then. Is Immortal trying to get in?
Let's look. Immortal, are you? Well, somebody's got the hand raised. Let's find out if it's him or if it's you who did that. Immortal!
Yeah, it is I.
Immortal, what do you think about chapter 13? Now that it's out.
The spoilers.
Yeah.
Well,
official.
The spoilers for chapter 13 are crazy. They're crazy.
Konoha's destroyed. Can't believe it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't hear Immortal.
Did you mute him? I hear him.
Oh, why is he muted? Immortal! I don't know why he was muted, honestly. Like, I don't know what context I would have ever muted Immortal, but Immortal!
What's up? Do I sound different? I'm using my newer microphone.
Well, I understand you're a changed man after the revelations of chapter 13. Now that the full chapter's out.
Dude, like, who are you? I don't recognize you. It's like chapter 13. Just did omnipotence on you.
So, Immortal, sticking to the
They
title
altered my
of the
memory.
stream, did chapter 13's spoilers make no sense?
I can't really say that just yet until I get for more context.
Well, the full spoilers are out,
But-
like the whole preview and everything. If it helps you, Immortal, just for a hint,
Wait, hold on.
the answer is in the thumbnail of this stream.
Let me go see.
Okay.
Hold on.
Well, as we wait on Immortal. Oh, you see it, Immortal? Okay. So Immortal, your answer?
It makes no sense.
All right, let's go.
Glad you agree.
Well, with that being said, so chapter 12. Well, should we get back to that?
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Should we start that?
I feel like we should have covered
was
chapter
actually-
13 afterwards, but oh yeah, Immortal, what's up?
Every time I go to work, I always cook up a lot of theories. Like whenever I'm just like by myself, like so.
Are you a chef at work by chance? Like, do you cook
No.
food?
Well, I want to be a cook, but right now I'm a dishwasher.
What happened?
Okay,
to the
okay. So
dog
I definitely
sleeping
see the
thing?
connection then. What happened to your sleeping job, the one your dog paid you to do?
He's asleep right now.
Okay, so you're
Oh,
on
so
the
he
clock.
doesn't want you to sleep tonight?
No.
Did you
Not
forget
the
to clock in?
In fact, I forgot to clock in.
Oh, well, hurry up, bro. You don't want to be like not getting your bag, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you got to
That's
show
a
your
clock
dog
in.
a record. What is Milo going to think?
Yeah.
He's going to think you're lying if you don't have your clock in record.
Oh no.
You don't get a bag one way or another.
Oh no, we don't want Milo to think you're lying. Once he starts to
Nah.
question your integrity, he's going to stop hiring you. He's going to stop paying you. So I would
Oh,
clock
no, I
in
don't-
as soon as possible.
How I want my dog to do that.
Exactly. I wouldn't either. But anyway, as far as chapter 12 goes, Oodie, would you like to start with the first podcast topic?
Yeah, so I wrote down a lot of stuff for Boruto chapter 12. Before we get to that, well, actually, maybe we can get to it like during it, since there was a lot of stuff pointing out with Hidari here. And so there's a lot of evidence that's leaning towards an idea. But that being said, I just want to cover some of this stuff first. So first of all, so Delta was right. Like, Delta, she just was right with the things that she said in like 2 chapters ago.
2 chapters. Oh wait, yeah.
In the last chapter or whatever.
Okay, you're gonna have
Heard
to.
it.
You're gonna have to. So what is she? I forgot. Was she talking about Jorah and how much he's stronger than he is than Kawaki, or was it like something else? Wait, come on.
I don't remember.
You mentioned.
I remember writing this down on 7/18/2024 at 7:52 p.m. Don't remember exactly about what, but I did. It might be in reference to the fact
it was
that
in
Kawaki
chapter
just
11.
left. Yeah.
In chapter 11, Delta asked Kawaki, basically, what are you gonna do anyway? Like, after he whipped your ass last time, and Kawaki's like, I'll just do what I can.
Yeah.
That's probably the scene you're referring to.
Probably, but again, I don't remember. But it feels like it is. But I don't remember what the point is. Right. So I have a lot written down here. Maybe this will refresh my memory. So,
I mean, I have, before you start, I could have a guess at least,
Okay.
just for the fun of it.
yeah.
So, Delta's like, what are you gonna do? He's too strong. Kawaki's like, I'll do what I can. What happens when they face Jorah? Jorah stands still. Kawaki does nothing and goes back to Hidari. So Kawaki did not do whatever he could against Jorah, probably because Jorah was too strong. So Delta was right. What can you do? Nothing. Yeah, I'm guessing that's where you were going.
That's what I was thinking when I read this after forgetting. But I still feel like there's just something off about that. I don't know what but I just got an uneasy feeling in my stomach that's not quite it. But let's read this and see if we can figure. If a human and a Shinju had a child, do you think they'd be stronger or weaker than Hagoromo?
What are you doing? Shut up.
It might depend on the human.
What?
I don't think it does at all. What do you
Like
mean?
if Hidari and Sakura had a child.
Nah, bro. I'm not counting
Haruma
Sakura
might still be
as
stronger.
human. We're not counting ninjas as humans. I'm talking about ninjas.
Bro, I don't think they have
yeah.
a. I don't think they have.
Listen, that's
We don't
besides
know
the
what's under
point,
those
John.
claw mark clothes.
I don't think they have reproductive capabilities.
Listen, they'll just do what Karin did
Um,
and make it a surrogate child.
Like,
Yeah.
what's Drew gonna say? Fake penis activate?
Okay, you're right. Let's stay on topic. So Sauron, assuming they do.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're just going with the assumption that they definitively are going to turn the prophecy arc into a movie. Do you think afterwards, whether it be a couple years or whenever, do you think they will just readapt that into the anime again? Is that still a formula that's popular in the current age?
Well, the Boruto animated with the
Demon Slayer
movie.
did.
That was years ago,
From
though.
the Boruto movie.
I mean, Demon Slayer did it. That was the biggest success of all time.
Hmm.
Dragon Ball did it. That wasn't received that well, but they still did it. Sure, there's other people that have done it as well.
Depending on how much
do-
content they would add to it, would determine whether or not it's like well received. I think.
I
But
would
like
say,
the initial concept would irritate people to a high degree.
yeah. Studio
Okay.
Pierre right now is kind of studying from, okay, which studio did animated Demon Slayer? I forgot. Was it Wit Studio or
Well, some people would call the studio U4 table, but it's Ufordable.
Affordable?
Yeah, or U4 table.
I will be referring to them as U4 Table, of course.
Affordable. So whatever studio, I forgot. So whatever studio Demon Slayer was animated from, they're kind of taking notes from that, and they're going to be focusing more on quality than quantity from here on out.
They're being given the opportunity, and they've wanted to do it for a minute, which is like they're taking inspiration from like JJK, Demon Slayer, mainly just a seasonal concept as a whole. They made it so they figured out that this is actually can be profitable for us. We don't need to actually make weekly episodes anymore, and they can make as much profit or close to it by making seasonal anime. They just have never done it before. It was a risk for them. And they decided they're gonna go for it.
Yeah, but they're not going to do it
Now,
for Boruto.
If they're inspired by seasonal anime, I think they're doing a bad job of living up to that inspiration because the seasonal anime actually like produced the episodes in the end, unlike those 4 Naruto episodes that never got produced.
Usually seasonal means they're coming out during one of 4 seasons.
It was
they
none
were
of referring to 1,000-Year Blood War, and Yatagarasu. But
listen, Sauron, I said it to you once before.
is-
I'm gonna say it again. If Boruto came back looking half as good as it did, it'd be better than ever.
it would half as good.
It would look better
What do
than
you
ever.
mean
Yeah.
half as good?
Oh,
Yeah, elaborate. Oodie.
half as good. That's a pretty. That's.
That sounds
How
like a
low do
very-
you want this to go? Like, do you want it to look like
Exactly.
black and
You
white?
wanted to,
Listen, I
That'd
just
be
want my
the half
episodes,
below.
man. That's all I'd care about. Okay,
Yep.
give me my drug.
Half below would be like black and white, bro.
I just want my
Like,
drugs.
it wouldn't even be colored. It wouldn't even be colored, bro. Black and white drawings. But yeah,
Better than the 4 Naruto episodes we
they-
never got in the first place. I'll take black and white.
they're
Yeah,
in
that's
the
fine.
they've been in the middle for a while of trying to change stuff within the studio for to make it more beneficial for them and to restructure things so it's like, we can do stuff in a superior manner.
Nah, bro, we can't be
It took a
wording it
while
like
for
that.
them to
The higher ups wanted to
took a-
keep it going. It's the animators that forced them to change by refusing to continue.
well,
Let's
giving
be
out
Why do
honest
you have
here.
to
Say it
say it
as
like
it
that,
is.
Oodie, you sound pretty
it would be
pathetic.
kind of
Oh
weird.
goodness. Yeah.
I
Wait,
completely lost my train of thought. I was thinking before. But
you
yeah,
sound like a dictator, man.
people don't seem
Oh
to,
God.
a lot of people online don't seem to realize like how long it takes to change infrastructure within a studio. They think that it can just happen overnight. People don't seem to realize like when One Piece had its animation quality upgrade, they were preparing to do stuff like that for like it was a gradual increase over time from like 2017 to like 2019, and then it took another year after that to get to the point to where a similar point to where they are now. This stuff takes years. It doesn't just happen overnight. It's just Boruto's their stuff is being done off screen, while Toei you could see the gradual increase in quality over the course of like years.
I don't think they're actually doing it off screen. I think they haven't even started.
Yeah, the difference is One Piece has practiced making it better. Boruto's practiced making it not at all. And they've completely succeeded in that.
Well, as of right now, they're trying to improve the quality of the overall studio, not just only Boruto. Like
Also,
obviously, Boruto's
yeah.
not in production very clearly.
Exactly. There has to be quality in
working
order
on-
for them to
they're working on-
improve it. If they're not if they're not giving us quantity, then there isn't quantity to have quality improved in the first place.
It is kind of like this team has become even smaller after Boruto ended because a lot of the
Yes.
people who were working there
Hate it.
for Boruto were there to work on Boruto. A lot of them have left after one of the production assistants, right after Boruto ended, left the studio, as well as another PA left the studio to go follow that other production assistant to go over to WIT, or what people call WIT, to most likely work on the One Piece remake. So, and then you have also some of the animators who worked on Boruto going over there too because they like the PA that's over there. I wouldn't be shocked if like quite a bit of who you see on Boruto were like working on the One Piece remake because the people who are there have such close connections to the people that worked on Boruto. So the team has become even smaller. So like they could attempt to work on it sooner, but with like what team would that be and how small would it be?
I mean,
How functional would that be?
Black Clover did it on a small team. I mean, what happened
best to wait.
What happened to like passing the torch episode 65? Can't they just pass the torch to the next generation? I'm sure there's people that are willing to animate Boruto.
There are new people within the studio that
they'll hire new people.
There's new people within the studio that are working their way up, but like it's still not that many at the end of the day. And ultimately speaking, the manga's only 12 chapters in. It is much better to wait than to just
Well, my complaint isn't the Boruto anime. It's just that's where my beef is.
It's where?
Yeah, we definitely heard what you said.
Wait, what was your beef? You kind of cut
The
out.
full episodes that we still haven't gotten.
4 new episodes, yeah.
Naruto episodes?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're probably working on other projects like Black Clover.
Yeah, they haven't started it. They announced it was coming on a set date and never started.
Well, we know that they are coming out by the end of the fiscal year, which is by March 2025.
Oh, really? Didn't they say last year that it was coming out in September? Why are we going to trust them this year?
This time they haven't even given a date, only like when it'll be out by, like at the very least. So I'm willing to say that this is more likely than.
Oh, great! So when they lie this time, at least it'll be ambiguous.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but that's also why it's even less likely. I feel like because they're being ambiguous, so they can just get away with whatever.
Well, they're being ambiguous because they have no idea.
Because they haven't even started it yet.
No, that's because you can start it and not know when it'll be finished.
I don't think they've started it.
I think they started and restarted. I think they started, and I think they restarted.
It was so bad that they just restarted it.
But isn't this like also a problem though? Is that because they announced a date? You were saying they're not announcing a date now because they have no idea. They announced a specific date. You can't have more of an idea than that. So that's as blatant of a lie as they could have possibly done.
They were given a deadline, which was September, and the production would have only possibly begun pre-production in like April, and depending on how high quality they're trying to go for the project, since this is essentially an OVA, OVAs have higher quality than normal anime episodes.
Mhm.
So depending on how ambitious they were trying to be with this, it would be impossible to finish. Also, with people leaving back and forth, the team becoming smaller as other people work on other series, it would be like.
But then you
okay,
should
well,
be
they'll
announcing, like, I don't know, in June, it's gonna be delayed because of people leaving and blah blah blah. You don't
Well,
wait till September and
you'd
say,
have
"Yeah,
to
we never
look.
finished it."
You'd have to look at the production committee's perspective, which is it's very dumb, but they'd be like, "Can y'all finish it by this date?" I know like y'all are struggling, but like can you crack it out by this date? Can you? Can you have a finished product? Because if they had a finished product, we've seen it before, even with unfinished Boruto episodes, they'll release it anyway, still put it on their station. But I don't think they had a finished product. But they wanted
Exactly.
to, but those people
So
wanted to see if they could have a finished product, which is the most ridiculous part.
yeah,
They
but
should have.
when you're in August and I don't know, you haven't even finished the first episode, I think it's pretty obvious you're not gonna finish the fourth episode.
Exactly.
In what
But like you can tell that that's probably what had happened because they announced it in a very like oopsie poopsie. This is
but they wait
delayed.
yeah, they
They
waited
waited
until
until the last
the
very
deadline,
moment. Yeah.
but they should have done it even a week before. They should have
Oh
been
no,
announcing.
I most certainly agree. But that's why I kind of have that theory, which is that had to be the way that it was because there's no way that they wouldn't have known like weeks before that they weren't going to be able to finish it by this point. But the people who had set the date likely wanted to see if they could, which is why it's just so unprofessional. It was just so dumb.
Bro, it's the
And
20th
it's a much
anniversary.
smarter decision. It's a much smarter decision now
can't
to not
believe
even
it.
give a date.
Like, are they
Should
just
have
gonna
been that
delay
way
it to
to
the
begin with.
25th
But like Oodie's
anniversary
saying, it's
now?
the 20th anniversary. 2 years from now, it's not the 20th anniversary anymore.
Yeah, so that's another problem. I would hope that they would call it the 24th anniversary of the Naruto anime.
See, that's going in the opposite
Wait.
direction. I want them to keep calling it the 20th anniversary because I want it to come out.
Well, it
Ooh.
wouldn't be the 20th anniversary anymore, period. Actually, as of the time of release, it wouldn't have been the 20th anniversary. If it released in 2023, that'd be the 21st.
Listen, if they can just
Year.
release it when they say they can, I don't care what they call it. They call
Yeah.
this the 5-year anniversary.
They
I
can
don't
just
care.
release it, bro. Give me the freaking script. Please. Just want to know what
So-
the story is.
Sauron, do we know who wrote it? Was it Honda or one of the other Boruto writers?
Messiah Honda, overseen by Gishiba.
Okay, interesting. When Boruto
Yeah.
does come back, do you think the old writers are going to continue writing it, or are they going to get completely new writers?
Some of them have moved on to doing other thing, but for the most part, I don't see anybody with recent animes that have come out. I don't see any of the other script writers anywhere else
Okay.
from what I see in animation credits. So
So, how?
they're probably still there doing something.
So, working with astronomical odds, how low are the chances that Kodachi comes back? Whether it's anime, manga, any form at all.
I was gonna say I want Kodachi to write
Well-
these 4 episodes of
Well,
Naruto.
considering they got rid of him to begin with, I think it's pretty low. But it'd be great if he came back.
I heard that there was something personal that
Mm.
when something very personal with Kodachi, which is why they got rid of him as the writer for the Boruto manga before Kishimoto stepped in.
Mm-hmm.
So, I actually don't know.
Allegedly.
I don't really know. Yeah,
Um,
allegedly, I don't really know what that personal stuff is. I can't I can't remember. So
He was right, bro. That's all
I had
know.
heard from Naruto explain that he said something disrespectful to like an
Ooh.
animator or something.
I wonder how
God forbid he-
disrespectful because like
Bro
to
probably
get-
saw the Boruto cry face and said, "Bro, that's bad," and got
Wait,
fired.
He
God
got
forbid he
fired
tries to
before
make
that,
his own
though.
series better. Can't
Well,
have
it was
passionate
before that.
workers.
Well, it'd be before that.
Squeaky clean PR people only.
Because he got fired way before the Ishiki arc had ended, right?
Well, not way
Well,
before.
In the
Technic-
manga, not the anime.
So
In the manga, I'm talking. Yeah.
what had happened was after episodes 220, his name as like as anime supervisor was removed from the credits. But then like he comes out after the Boruto anime had ended, being like, now my work for Boruto is done. So they removed him from the credits, but he was still seemingly there. Based off his words. I wonder if I can find it again.
That's hilarious, bro. I can't believe
Which is
that.
which is definitely like the odd part.
That's
Let me see
awful.
if I can find it.
Oh, that's so
It could be
bad.
either. Yeah. Let's see if I can find it. Boruto.
So I actually don't know. The part 1 and Shippuden filler episode writers, were they the same writers for Boruto? The anime?
I've never checked those credits.
Okay. Do you know about because obviously we only have one Boruto movie, we all know about that. Do we know like who worked on the Naruto or Shippuden movies?
I'm trying to find the tweets that I'm
Do
looking
you
for.
know who wrote the Kakashi
what?
Sensei's True Face episode?
You know who wrote the what?
Well, that was an adaptation of the
Kakashi
manga
Sensei's True
anyways.
Face episode? No, it wasn't.
Well, not the
It's not in the manga.
second one, anyways. Yeah.
The first one is not in the manga, though.
Yeah, I
Do you know
know.
who wrote that episode?
I thought you were referencing the second one.
The first one's the best one.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Best episode of fiction.
I mean, not that the second one is bad. It proves that Hanzo's not a ninja and all. But besides that,
Bro, it proved Hanzo was a ninja.
Kamui, people that
asked
are
who
watching
wrote
that
what
don't
movie?
know what we're talking about are so confused right now.
Probably.
Go ahead, Tarn.
Okay, so it was Kodachi said, so wow, this is partly translated to Google Translate. My gosh. The long first part of the Boruto anime has finished, and will be taking a break, moving forward to the second part. I will now be leaving the production completely, but I ask everyone to continue supporting my friends. No, Boruto and his friends.
I was gonna say, like, are they even friends with Kodachi anymore?
Well, no, he said continue supporting Boruto and his friends. I misread it. But yeah, so that, again, like, that would clearly imply, like, he was still there. His name just wasn't on the credits anymore.
Do you think Kodachi's been punching air reading Two Blue Vortex?
No, I think he'd probably like it.
Well, okay. That assumes that he hasn't dropped the series, Kamui.
Yeah, because it was so he
might
saw the
not
end of part
read it
1 and
as-
dropped the series.
He might not read it out of spite. Maybe.
Oh,
Maybe
no,
doesn't
no.
read
If
it
he's
out of
not going to
spite.
read it, it's not going to be out of spite. It's going to be for another reason.
Nah, bro. I don't think his standards are that high. I think he'd like it.
I mean, you look at Boruto
I was
Part 1,
thinking
his
he would be
standards were
looking at
pretty
his
high.
manuscript and be like, God, mine was so much better.
Oh, no, bro. So, okay, Sauron, you're
Nah,
in the
bro.
know. How can we get
Man.
Kodachi as
That's
a
what we're
guest on the
talking
podcast?
Bro.
Yeah.
How would you even speak to him?
I know Japanese.
Yeah. Person, yes, he knows Japanese too.
Yeah, we got translators on the
Yes.
side.
I know the Japanese too. I know the Japanese
I mean, I'll
too.
just download a Japanese to English translator app. There you go.
Okay, Kodachi tweets a lot. Oh my gosh.
Bro, Kodachi can have an English translator with him. He can afford it, can he? Maybe not anymore.
Maybe not
Hey,
anymore.
wait, hold on, bro. Oh, stop it.
I mean,
Bro.
based on the peak writing he did for part
Dude.
1, he should be able to afford it for the rest of his life.
Yeah, if he made millions off that, he can afford the translator.
If the money reflects the quality, he can afford 20 translators.
Like I said, I don't know if Kodachi could legally just tell us what his story would have been, but at the very least, off air, he can just send us the manuscript or something. I just want to see it.
So when like the first chapter of True Blue Vortex came out, he was really happy about it and excited. He even tweeted about it.
Well, that was the first chapter. How about by the 12th chapter?
Let me see. Has he ever tweeted?
He gets to
anything
chapter
else?
9, he's like, oh god. They did what?
See, here's the thing. I
It's
could see him
like,
just
I would've
constantly doing
done
it to
this
be
too.
nice. He's just gonna praise it
Yeah.
for the good publicity.
I agree.
But if he stops tweeting, that shows you he doesn't like it.
Mhm. I was thinking this exact same thing. It was pure PR.
The last tweets he made about Boruto were the ending of the anime and the beginning of the manga.
That speaks volumes.
And how often did he tweet about Boruto before?
Apparently a lot.
Araki.
I think that's a sign.
Well, no, he tweeted. I mean, he tweets a lot in general, not just about. He didn't just tweet a lot about Boruto. He tweets a lot in general. He has like 97,000 tweets.
Oh my god. Not words, but tweets. Jesus. It's only 365 days in a year.
Hey, I'm
A
gonna
lot
head
of
out.
10 times a day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna head out. Gotta go to work tomorrow. I gotta wake up early for work tomorrow.
Okay, Immortal, any topics
Bye-bye.
you want to leave us
All
with?
right,
Bye-bye.
see ya, mortal.
Okay, well, bye.
See you guys later.
See you another time.
See you another time, Sarant.
Bow wow.
Oh, wow. Okay. Kamui, do we need to get back to chapter 12? Or is there more Sauron-related topics that we need to specifically address? Not that Sauron has to go, he can stay for the chapter 12 if he wants, but...
Well, you know me by now. I haven't read chapter 12.
Oh, right!
Which is just
But if
fine.
Kodachi was writing, he would have.
No, bro, it's the lack of the anime, bro. And the sour taste that the part 1 left in my mouth. I just can't get it out. I can't.
Same.
Like, it's hard.
I can't help but read the chapters anyway, but I can't get the sour taste out of my mouth.
Yeah. I was like, wow, that's your ending? That's what you call that?
In the comment section, will let us
Incredible
know.
stuff, bro. Incredible stuff, bro.
Incredible, dude.
I know that there was like
Cool.
there's like this one tweet. It seems to be deleted now, but like at one point Oko Kodachi called Kawaki Kishimoto's creation. Like he created the character. It wasn't his.
I mean,
Concept,
Kishimoto might have
idea,
been like, hey,
or-
Kodachi, that character you made, just name him Kawaki, I guess. And Kodachi did the rest.
No, he said that he created the character.
He's like, here's
Not
a
just like,
character
oh.
design. Make that Kawaki character you
Yeah, but
wrote
he-
about, make this his design.
But he wouldn't say created the character if like he didn't create the character.
Okay, he created the character, and then and Kodachi wrote the character.
Yeah.
Yeah, is what I mean.
Which means,
Like, you
how
tried-
much of the character did Kishimoto do besides draw what he looks like
Well,
and say, he's an abused kid? Like, how
Not
far
even
did he
that.
go?
Like, Kamui, what
I-
I'm thinking of is he looked at that fallen airship and is like, huh, you should put a character in there. That's it.
No. But I think what it just simply is when they were coming up with the concept, because when they were coming up with the concept of like the flash forward, Kishimoto likely is the one that came up with the idea and then created Kawaki there.
Yeah, so he came up with the flash forward scene, but Kodachi did the rest.
Yeah, so he created maybe the flash forward scene, created Kawaki, created that Boruto thing, and then he was like, alright, I'm on to my series.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest. The
Bye
Kawaki from
now.
the flash forward scene is not the Kawaki that we got. These are two different characters. Kawaki's been retconned since then. No way it's the same character.
He'll get there. He'll say those lines. It'll make sense by the time we get there.
No, he'll get there and he'll say those lines.
Bro, it's not
but that's not
going to be
Kawaki.
Kawaki gets a point.
Delta was
he'll
right.
Get there, trust. He'll get there, trust.
I think I'll reread the chapter, see what I'm missing.
Oh.
Gotta be more than that. Okay, so
where do we leave off in podcast topics?
Let's see. Okay, Sauron, I think you can talk on this. So at the very least, you know,
part of the plot.
Wait, what?
Are we watching part of the plot? During a certain
I agree with what
there,
you're saying.
I couldn't speak properly at all. That was so stupid.
Your Kakuzu point, completely agree.
Okay,
the
good.
Dari death reminds me of Kuzan's death. Oh,
Kakuzu's death?
Kizar. Okay, Kakuzu.
The point isn't about them. It's about the demonstration of something else. Rasen Shuriken / Uzuhiko's power, both of which incapacitated the target, allowing someone else to finish them off. Sauron, agree? Thoughts?
I'll also say the Thorn Soul as well. Hidari's death isn't about Hidari, it's about the Thorn Soul too.
Yeah.
But that it's something other than the person that is Hidari.
Yeah. It's fine.
I guess it is kind of like
Hidari.
You have someone who completely incapacitates them, and then another person who finishes them off. It's an incredibly powerful Rasengan variant that can dismantle people. Yeah, sure.
Which is funny considering.
Although
that's not even really the main thing. I think that was just Oodie just saying some side points. The point is that
it's a little bit of
isn't about the character; it's about something else.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a superficial. What's the word?
And then side note, it was important for Naruto because Naruto is supposed to be pure and not put his hands in darkness, which is why Kakashi was the one to do it. Kawaki's just doing it just because he's there.
Not only that,
showed up.
Well, also
Boruto
Naruto landing the Rasen Shuriken is a monumental developmental moment for Naruto catching up to Sasuke. Boruto's just doing it because he can.
Yeah, Boruto didn't earn it. The other characters earned it for Boruto.
Boruto earned it.
Nah, bro. It's like saying Kawaki earned killing Hidari.
No, bro. He earned it.
How? Konohamaru's the one that defended him.
I actually don't know how it led up to it. I'm just waffling.
All right.
Sarada threw Hidari at Boruto to land the Uzuhiko.
He hasn't read the chapter, remember?
Konohamaru talks back to Boruto.
Which didn't make any sense.
I love that man.
Yeah, I love it too. So, Uzuhiko / Thorn Soul is a solution. Just as other solutions exist in the Boruto / Naruto series, such as Boruto figuring out Ishiki can't kill him. Now, the good guys have an actual direction, I wrote direction twice, to go in / tangible goal instead of aimlessly wander around. The story has a focus. Not much of a point to go off of there, I just thought it was a thing to say. So there you go. I think comparing it to Boruto's revelation that Ishiki can't kill him is a really interesting analogy. If we're comparing plot points. Kamui, I was hoping you had anything to say about that, maybe? Like you agree, disagree? Elaboration on maybe something?
Don't delete it yet. Delete it all at the end, so that way I can go back to reread.
Wait, why would you delete a period?
We have too much. That's why. Well, continuing on. To be fair, I'm not mad that they...
Well, no, I mean, I get what you're saying there. So I agree.
Okay.
It's it's a different type. Instead of the idea with Boruto, what is more like a protection of Sasuke / a delayment on Ishiki, because that's the goal, is to basically delay Ishiki till he dies. This one's more about rescuing Sasuke, but the concept is the same with what you're saying.
Yeah, the Boruto one's more of a revelation, an answer to a question we already had. Not that we were questioning why he was killing or not killing Boruto, but the fact that we knew once Boruto explained it oh, we already have this information. That makes sense. The Thorn Souls are completely new and out of nowhere. So we can't point to something previously and be like, oh, it's connecting to this.
I guess you can say it's connecting to Boruto saying he's gonna freeze Sasuke, but
nah, bro,
that's
it's
about
definitely not. Continuing on, okay, so Kamui, I need you to listen to this because I'm gonna say this in a very specific way. To be fair, I'm not mad that they killed Hidari. I'm mad that they killed Hidari. I thought that was an interesting way to word
you
it.
put the emphasis.
Yeah.
Why do you do this, dude?
I get what you're saying, but I'm mad about both.
Okay. Sure. That's it. Well, that's why I write "to be fair" at the beginning of it. I include this for a very important reason. So, continuing on.
Yeah, because it's yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. Then continuing on.
All right. Excellent.
These next 2 points, at this point, we don't have anything to talk on with these because I wrote these a long time ago. But the 2 things are Sumire really do be having absolutely no role here, huh? That's the first one.
That's true. I was telling, bro. I so knew that this was going to be the case. I had no hope.
So sad.
He tells Boruto that Stardust like his target when he already knew that.
I'm surprised she was saying things. I was surprised that she was saying things. I expected ... or ...
Bruh, Nishi unironically had a bigger role here than Sumire did. Unironically.
Yeah. You would think that, like, oh, maybe, like, she should be like the new way. Spawn. Maybe you can eat Hidari or something.
That'd be nice, considering it's in the manga. In the data book, confirmed it exists.
And you know, like, either Okio Kadachi or Kishimoto put it there, so it's like...
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Maybe the anime will, but we'll see. The second thing we have even less to talk on.
Nah.
The Shinju are just Tin Tail's bodyguards. Kamui, I feel like we've talked about this 20 times over this past month already. Just another way to word it. Sauron, do you have anything to say about this?
I mean, it's true.
Okay.
Nothing else to say.
Glad we agree. Alright, next thing. Alright. This is a what if. What if the reason Boruto is purposefully not wanting Hidari to quote-unquote get away is because Boruto knows if he chases after him, the God Tree will react by just pooping out more Shinju or some other defense mechanism. So even if he defeats Hidari, it's 1 step forwards, multiple steps back. That's implying, like, because he should be able to teleport back to the Tin Tails dimension, I think. I think he should still have a frog there. It'd be weird if he doesn't. So, when Hidari's falling after Uzuhiko, he's about to fall into the claw marks. That shouldn't really be an issue for Boruto, because he should be able to teleport there, assuming that is a Tin Tails dimension.
We don't...
I mean, so this is gonna sound really this is gonna sound really stupid and goofy, but I'll say 2 things. 1, Boruto just might lack the ability to go underground, where because that thing seems to be like
that's
underground,
possible,
right?
Yeah.
Let's just say it's right below the Tin Tails cage.
But yeah, go ahead.
No, but I was gonna say, what if it's like a claw mark is how he gets underground and Boruto can't go through?
Okay. A claw mark dimension.
Not being able to teleport underground, but you can teleport to different dimensions.
Yeah, but he needs the flying Raijin marker to be underground. It's not underground. So if he just can't get underground, maybe he can dig. I don't know, but it depends on how that works.
Yeah, that's true. Obviously,
but depending on how you access that room,
doesn't have it. Yeah, we don't even know if that is the Tin Tails dimension as well.
I think it is though, because it just right now I'm thinking that the Tin Tails just turned into a tree and grew upside down there, like it just took root there.
At the very least, it seems like it's
What are Matsuri and Bud
nothing,
doing?
bro. They're just
we don't know.
Just sitting there.
Why are they doing nothing?
But that's the problem. It's fine for them to do nothing so long as they give us the answer for why they're doing nothing.
Like, they're like, oh wow, they're going to a village to go do stuff. All right, well, tell me when you come back. I guess. I'm going to. It's like you're not going to do anything.
One
No?
primary
Yeah, because
motive.
they already set their targets,
Like,
and
you're
they're
not going to go to
supposed
the
to be
village.
going after them.
You're not going to go to the village and go, oh, that Konohamaru guy. I want to go see him. While y'all do this, I'll focus on my own goal.
Like, you don't need to eat,
Konohamaru.
drink, sleep, go to the bathroom. You don't have a life to live, connections to connect to. You don't care about money or any other attachment.
She's not reading books.
Just have this
so,
one
So
like,
here's what I will
instinctual
say. Yeah, here's
drive.
what I will say though. I'll give you a reasonable explanation they could have given. When Jura leaves with Hidari in Chapter 8, Jura could have said, come Hidari, Matsuri and Bug. You two stay here and guard this room, or
Yeah.
guard the Ten Tails, or guard the Divine Tree, whatever you want to say if you want to be cryptic about it. Guard this Clog Mark Cube, I don't care. Whatever you need to guard. He tells them to stay and be on guard. Because if Boruto comes and it's off guard and destroys the tree, it's game over, right? Them being the guards for the Ten Tails works. The problem is they haven't said that. So, as far as we know, they are just sleeping, drinking Bug's beer, you know?
And Kamui, what you just explained would perfectly
like, we don't
answer
know what they're doing.
what you just explained would perfectly answer what I'm bringing up here. The reason Boruto doesn't want to follow Hidari wherever he's going, assuming he can. This
Is
could
it because
be the
no,
explanation.
actually that's a good point though. What I never actually looked to see if there's like a tiny cameo, but scroll. When Hidari goes in that dimension, do we see
No,
Buggermatsu?
of course we
Just
don't.
in the
People
corner?
you would have known.
Yeah,
No,
so
they're not
like
there.
I guess it's not enough room. I mean, before though, wasn't Bug just like laying on the side there? Matsuri was leaning against a tree so she could. I mean, even then, it's not like Matsuri was like, "How you doing, Hidari?" Are they even there?
I mean, at the very least, if you're gonna say Matsuri's teasing code, she should be teasing Hidari since he's losing a Boruto. He has to come back to heal.
Yeah, I mean, it almost. I mean, the way it's drawn makes it seem like they're not even there. Now, in Bug's case, that's fine because Ada's not in the village really. But like, what is Matsuri doing? Is she going after Code? Is that what it is? Why?
Oh god. So, but like, I do like okay, so we're looking at this the wrong way. I do like the what if potential behind this. I like the idea that Boruto doesn't want to go there because if he does, the Ten Tails is going to react by doing something big, something bad. I do like that as an idea, just in general, regardless of what it is.
Yeah. I don't think he could go there though anyway. So I mean, personally, I think the actual thing going on there is he doesn't want Hidari to just heal again. And then they're like, oh, now we gotta try this again. He just wants to
Yeah,
win.
but again, under my hypothetical to where Boruto can just follow
Yeah,
him,
I know what you're saying.
he,
Your hypothetical's better.
yeah. It's like, so my hypothetical again, just to restate it, I know you understand it, but just to restate it, it's to say Hidari does get away, and this Hidari, who's like one arm and half of his chest and like his head, he does go to the Ten Tails dimension to heal, and then Boruto follows him. Obviously, Boruto can just kill him before he's healed or able to do anything. He's literally defenseless. The Ten Tails would react to Boruto's presence, and regardless of Hidari dying, the Ten Tails could poop out 2 or plus more Hidaris. So he killed one Hidari, but
Well, I
two
was
more
thinking
came to his
maybe
way.
instead of necessarily Hidari, that is one possibility, but maybe it just decides to make more. Like it makes the Sawagi Shinju,
Yeah,
or the guy behind Sawagi Shinju, both of them, and they tag team Boruto.
exactly. And that's really what I was getting at. I wasn't meaning literally Hidari, but yeah.
Yeah, but no, I think that would have actually been a good idea. That Boruto was worried that it would just make more bodyguards. Granted, you could then be asking, well, why doesn't the Ten Tails just do that anyway? Why doesn't it make more than 4? I would like an explanation. Like, is it a thing to where it can only make 4 and it picks the 4 strongest? Is it a thing to where it's trying to balance using chakra for bodyguards versus the chakra it wants to steal for itself. Like, is it essentially a sacrifice? It's giving up chakra for bodyguards, so it's not going to make too many bodyguards because it doesn't want to lose too much. Like, we need an explanation.
You know what I just
Yeah, we
thought about
definitely do
something?
need an explanation.
Oh, what's up?
And Jorah being so wacky is so funny.
Bro, he has
That
to
is
be.
still
What,
so funny
Oodie?
to
There's
me.
so much reasoning
has
there
to
for Jorah to be so okay. So this is just thinking about something we were saying earlier. This is just more proof that Kishimoto isn't writing this, bro. It has to be Ikimoto, because in part 1 of Boruto, Jigen says to Code, writing Code out of the story narratively, that he needs to stay in the Ten Tails dimension to protect the Ten Tails. This would have been the exact same concept for Jorah to say it to the Shinju. And the fact that it isn't said is proof that Kishimoto is not involved.
I don't think so. Anyway.
Well, that would be Kodachi.
I
be
know,
fair.
but I'm
Kodachi's the one who
stretching
wrote
it to
that, so-
Kishimoto.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Kodachi's writing feels more Kishimoto. No, actually, this is what annoys me.
Kishimoto would have wrote it.
I
in.
understand. Okay,
I mean,
I hate,
Kishimoto
like,
wrote
I
in
got
for
that Twitter
for
argument with
Team
that guy in the
Taka to
Naruto
stop
Explain post.
Kisame.
We say, oh, you can't see all the Kishimoto similarities in this writing style. It's like, bro, the only thing, I'm going to be honest with you, the one and only, I'll say two things. The two things that are Kishimoto-like about post-Kodachi are humor. Think chapter 74, Konohamaru falling down the stairs when he sees Ada, Delta being goofy when she sees Ada, Ada saying, I see your panties, and so on. The humor, or Naruto bobblehead, okay, the humor, and some of the love stuff. Kishimoto likes his love stuff.
Well,
Those are the two things. Outside of that, though, there is a completely different feel to the writing that is not Kishimoto.
Naruto
Because look at the Minato manga. Minato manga has humor. It has the love, and yet it's so different in its execution.
Naruto Explained gets that idea from Japanese fans when he asks them questions about how they read the kanji and whatnot, and how it's similar to how Naruto was in terms of like writing style. In terms of like how the story seems to be written, it's not explicitly like, oh, this is Kishimoto. Just from like what we're seeing here.
Well, because again, just look at the Minato manga. It has the humor and it has the love, but yet the execution of its emotional resonance is completely different, and the way it ties the story and the plot together is completely different. It is clearly
I feel
not
like
the same capabilities.
I have to see an emotional scene that they're trying to, because the only emotional scene that I'd say that they went for so far is the Mitsuki scene.
No, Inoji's death.
I don't.
Or fake death.
I guess that was meant to be emotional.
I would hope it was supposed to be emotional. If it wasn't, what are they trying to say about Inoji?
I think it's meant to be emotional, but I feel like you're meant to feel like anger there. Or frustration.
The only anger I had was how bad it was.
No, I don't think so at all. I think you're supposed to feel bad for Inoji. Feel pity, empathy.
Well,
sad for Inoji, mad at Jorah, maybe. But I wasn't mad at Jorah. I was cheering Jorah on. That's the problem.
You're meant to feel the same thing that like Himawari's feeling, which is anger and upset.
No, I don't think so.
I think you're supposed to feel like when Pain stabbed Hinata.
I was going to say the exact same thing.
One executed it right, the other didn't.
I completely agree.
But what Naruto felt in that moment was anger.
Okay, the audience didn't
feel sad that Inoji's died and angry that Jorah killed Inoji. The problem is, I was glad Inoji died, and I was rooting for Jorah, and I was mad at Himawari. I should not have felt that way. Why did I feel that way? Because the execution was terrible.
Is it really that much worse than the Pain scene in the manga?
Yes!
Sauron, the fact you didn't read it, the reason you didn't read it, proves us right.
It's worse, but like, the manga version of that scene is nowhere near as good as the anime version.
The manga is still... The problem...
Go ahead, Kamui. I give you permission to go off.
Building up to the moment everything is wrong. Naruto and Hinata, we have their relationship since the tuning exam, and even beyond that, we already know Naruto likes the type of person Hinata is
Kamui.
because of the tuning exam. We damn well know how Hinata cares about Naruto, okay? I think that was made abundantly clear throughout this series. And then Hinata expresses her love to Naruto, why she will risk her life for Naruto, because she wants to in this moment, and then she gets stabbed, and Naruto witnesses that and then snaps, versus nothing. He dies, and Himawari is supposed to be raging, and then she's calm as can be in the next panel as she just walks up to Hinojin all hunky-dory, heals him, and then Jura asks this question he knows the answer to, and she gets pissed off for 5 seconds. Are you really going to say these are the same?
Have you considered that the anime might fix this problem?
Oh, don't say that to Kamui. That's the last person you want to say it to.
Boruto anime they come back, so that way the manga has to be better.
Bro, Sauron's trolling with that. He knows who he's saying that to.
Have you considered that the add scenes to
it's okay, Kamui.
Make it more emotional?
The anime is gonna fix it, Kamui. Why are you even complaining?
Have you thought about that? Has that crossed your mind, Kamui?
Why are you comparing it to Naruto? You know this is Boruto. It's different.
This is a monthly manga. We gotta be quick, bro.
We've only got 12 chapters. Can't you be patient? Just wait.
Save the emotional resonance for the manga, for the anime, bro. They can take their time there. This is a monthly manga. We gotta move super quick to keep people's attention. He wants to focus on
manga in one chapter can do it. I don't want to hear any excuses.
But how long is that chapter? Thought about that?
Probably the same as the Boruto monthly chapters. Is it even longer? How many pages is it?
That would be incorrect, but I understand your point. Anyways,
it is like Kamui, think about it. Who wants to wait an entire chapter?
It's 55 chapters versus 41. The cover page counts for both, so 54 versus 40
pages. Not chapters. But
pages. Yeah.
Have you considered that?
But it would have you two Boruto chapters is almost twice as long as one Minato manga chapter.
Have you considered that it would be boring to not see Boruto in the first chapter after that emotional ending of part 1?
Yeah, you gotta have it be hype, Kamui.
You gotta have it be hype in the first chapter to keep people's retention rate. Nobody
We're
wants
talking
to
about
see...
chapter 10.
Nobody wants to see boring conversations with Chocho, Inojin, and Himawari to set up the relationship.
They just want to see the hype stuff because we all know hype stuff are hype
important to the plot.
I mean, what is chapter 10 other than chapter 1 with an O in front of it?
Exactly, and also hype is hype. It doesn't need things to back it up. It's just hype. That's how writing works.
Yeah, you're overthinking it, Kamui. Actually, you're overanalyzing it. It's not that deep, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Making it more complicated than it needs to be. Now, why can't you just enjoy it?
I will say though, at the end of the day, the whole monthly manga thing, I do find it it is funny, it is a joke, but I do think that is the mentality that they roll with. Quick, fast, pacing, you just keep it flowing. I do think that the anime definitely could make that scene better, just off of more time. I do think that is a possibility, and I think that is what they will do. I think that's just going to be the case. But I don't think that that's proof that Kishimoto isn't writing. I just think because he knows that this is a monthly manga, he has to value certain things differently.
Okay. Sauron, have you seen Tokyo Ghoul?
The anime? Yes, I have.
Okay, perfect. So you will know what I'm talking about. So, Kamui, you obviously won't. So,
what
Sauron?
A good production this was. It was.
Dude, this. Oh my god! Don't even get me started on the anime versus the manga. The anime was so much better than the manga, bro. Season 1 of Tokyo Ghoul is unironically one of the best animated seasons of all time.
I haven't read the manga, but from what I read, I preferred the manga.
when I was reading them side by side.
You don't count.
In terms of not in terms of art or quality. I mean in terms of just the story. But it's been a while.
Oh,
the next
they
time
cut
I
out the
ingest-
scene in the supermarket to where he was buying food.
So you read the Tokyo
They
Ghoul
rushed it. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
And
I do
watched
think
anime.
season 1 is a good anime, but I don't have a full opinion of how I'd feel based off stuff they cut out from the manga in
Okay.
season 1. All I know is that in seasons Tokyo Ghoul Re, you can feel that things are missing, vital things are missing from the
No,
story.
you cannot.
You don't feel that as
bro.
much in season
It
1.
includes the important stuff, okay? I don't care if they're missing major things. The major things aren't important. People's arguments is just that they
That's
are
a wild
missing
take
things.
right there.
Their arguments is that it's just missing things and that it's freaking out of order. That's it. What?
Didn't you make the argument that building up things is important and it shouldn't just be about the hype?
Listen, they literally changed the settings of one of the places and kept everything else the same. And people were furious. They had the same events happening in a different location, and people said it ruined the anime.
You didn't address what I said.
You're right. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen, Sauron. So you remember this part of season 1, episode 5, to where I think this guy's name is Nishio. Nishiki. It's Nishiki, right? Nishiki?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nishiki is defending his girlfriend from purple-haired guy. I have it muted. I'm gonna play a couple seconds of it. It's oh, he's talking, and then oh my god, he's gonna, and it's the same thing as Enojin. He's already been defeated or whatever, but he's still gonna try and stop him anyways. This is Enojin's death done right. You feel sad for Nishiki. And he's oh my god, I can't believe he would go this far. Just like Hinata. Look at the bro. They could never do this with Enojin.
But
never.
You know who can?
Who?
You know who can, though?
Who?
Messiah Honda.
Bro, I need Messiah Honda
honestly,
to write Jura looking like this at Enojin.
I was gonna say we need to have Honda just write the manga at this point.
I'd be so down.
Because I'm telling you, the Kawaki moments that he wrote are more emotional than a significant part of the manga.
I'm guessing he probably did the countdown scene in the anime where he added the extra
That
shit.
was his screenplay, bro.
Did you not stab him?
Yeah, can this guy just write the manga? He also wrote the car actuation arc, didn't he?
Overseen by Oko Kodachi.
So I guess
But yes.
See, there you go. See, we need to have this combo.
What he does,
this combo
though,
needs to be doing
is that he writes the outlines of arcs, and then people write it. The other screenwriters write alongside him, but it was overseen by Oko Kodachi. We know this because at the time of Jump Fest, Oko Kodachi was talking about the car actuation arc.
Yeah, but I just feel
he tweeted about it too.
These guys just that's the winning combo right there.
They used to be
the manga.
Tight knit, bro. Tight knit.
Okay.
But now for
that's
emotional
Oodie's favorite.
For emotional stuff, as long as it doesn't involve Sakura, Messiah Honda is good.
Okay.
What did he do with Sakura?
I don't think he likes her. I don't think he does.
Oh, is this a reference to Sasuke Resident or something?
Well, the way they chose to adapt that is very weird, but it was never going to be good regardless, though, because that story isn't. Why would you tell only the Sasuke part of the story and not the rest of it? The whole concept of doing only Sasuke Retsuden as a manga was so stupid to me. I couldn't fathom it. I thought it was so dumb. They should have done them in order, first of all, or combine scenes together, maybe cut out some other stuff to make it a cohesive story. that's how you would do that. Make it the Naruto Retsuden. Naruto
And just
Gaiden
combine
Retsuden
all
or
three or
something.
something.
That made
I mean, I
that
would
would
just
make
do all
far
three.
more sense. Way more sense. And it would give Kingo Shimura. Kingo
Well,
Shimura?
If you
Something like
were
that.
if you
That's
were
his
gonna
name.
do just one, it makes no sense to do the middle. It would make sense if you're doing just one to either do the beginning or the end. The middle is like the last in line, importance priority. Why would they do that? I don't understand. I don't understand.
Well, I think that they at that time they probably were like, okay, well, Sasuke and Sakura fans are quite, you know,
I think
they
the reason is
are.
because Sasuke Retsu was the most popular. I could be wrong, but I think it was the most popular.
It was the most popular, and also, if
Not
you
a
just look on
manga.
social media, Sasuke and Sakura posts are all over the place. People love that ship a lot for some reason.
For some
So
reason,
they're
it's
like,
because
let's
it's
just
the
cater
best
to
ship of
them.
all time.
It is a bad ship, poorly put together, but once they
sorry
got
that
together,
you
it was
can't
cute.
see it.
It's
I'm
better than the
sorry
manga from what I've
that
seen,
you
actually.
find it good.
Well, you know, Sauron, I think this really speaks to our difference of experience. You know, I'm a little bit more wiser than you, a little bit more mature, so it makes sense.
That's definitely all true, though, so I can't rebuttal that.
Okay, good.
So
Glad we're on
what do you
the
want me to say?
same page.
That you're like you're like an oldie. I'm a youngster still.
Yeah, Oodie's an old man. He's almost in his
Yeah, you are
30s.
too.
Old head.
Well, I'm still in the lower half of the 20s. Calm down.
Oh, you're only 24?
Yeah,
About to change.
Oh, so you're not middle-aged yet.
correct.
Because we all know Ood is middle-aged, because he's 25.
Kamui's
That's
Yeah,
middle
about to
age.
turn
don't even
25.
start about Cam. Grandma Cam.
I'm surprised that
And Grandpa
old
King of
Dust is
Chaos.
still alive.
Yeah. And then you have great grandpa Freak Game and great grandpa Mellow. Like, I don't know how, but they must be dusty.
Yeah, bro. Especially free
Old
game.
head. Sauron,
Anyways,
did they stop? Are they done? I think Mellow stopped. Does that mean Free Game
With-
and Bara just are done too?
are they
What do you
done
mean?
with what?
'Cause I think Mellow stopped. At least they made a community post saying
I
that he's
stopped
stopping
watching-
some stuff. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Wait, what?
I stopped watching the podcast a long time ago.
I could be
Same.
wrong.
Wait, what happened?
Nothing happened. That's the point. I'm pretty sure they haven't podcasted in like over a week, 2 weeks now. And I think they haven't podcasted.
Well, I know
since...
there's that post about Mello saying
Yeah,
he wanted to
since
go in a
that
new
post.
direction, how he wasn't gonna. Wait, oh, I thought they did some podcasts after that.
Well, they did like
Or
one
did
podcast
they
like
not?
either the day of or like the day after. But like I haven't heard anything
In
since. In fact,
2
I haven't seen
weeks.
Mello do anything.
Mello
either.
probably
It's on
never
his own
talked in
channel.
it or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Mello never got back to me about getting to the podcast with Sage of Thick Calves either. So
Well, no, I thought he did. Or
I know
unless you
Mello's
No, he
been
didn't.
messaged him
doing
again.
something else as of recent, though. He's been making other types of videos. Only took him a year to get there.
well, he said he was
Um,
going to. I don't know if he's actually posted. At least I haven't seen him.
No, he's been posting about many other things. Oh, he privated all of his Boruto content.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
understand how
That
he. I don't
feels
know why.
Wait, why did you do
that
that? Why did you private
feels
that?
unnecessary.
That's what I'm saying, bro. He spends so much time and work on it. He's just gonna private. It doesn't make sense at all. Even from like, if his
He's made videos
business
on-
perspective is for the money, leaving him up gets more revenue or whatever. Killing his cash cow.
So he makes videos on the Suicide Squad
Yeah.
nonsensical anime that's just so completely stupid. And Cody, he's been making Cody Geass videos. Mainly the Suicide Squad stuff, though.
Okay. Well,
Did he announce it on his community that he was going a different direction? Or
yeah,
did
community
he
poll,
just change direction?
post or whatever.
Okay, well, he deleted his old post.
It might be a different channel.
Okay,
It
hold
depends
on.
which channel you're on. I don't know which channel it was on. He's freaking like 12 channels, I think. I don't know. At
I'm
least
not
2 or
covering
3.
Naruto and Boruto series. I'm not covering the
Okay.
Naruto Boruto series on my main channel moving forward. I'm moving my channel into a different direction. We'll be covering animation, anime, cartoon, pop culture, the defined identity.
I can understand wanting to like shift into less of it, but why does he want to just do none of it anymore? I mean, I know he seemed very tuned out with Boruto. Out of nowhere, he was like hyping up at the most peak thing ever when it was bad, and then just out of nowhere, just like
the last time I watched a podcast, it was like for chapter like 10 or something, and Mello was really into it.
Yeah, that's the
So-
yeah,
funny
in
thing,
chapters
bro.
9, he was debating us how great it was.
And then
Like,
afterwards, he's like, "It's
you-
undeniable how peak it is. So the haters, it's gonna be inevitable in time. They just won't have anything because it's undeniable."
Like, maybe he was just showboating at the time, but like for me, I got the impression because like in comparison to how I feel and how Kamui you feel. Why am I acting like you're not right in front of me? How Kamui and Oodie feel. Why am I speaking in this way? This is so stupid. How y'all felt that we disliked it more and were less attached to it than we had used to be. But Mello was more so like flip-flopped a bit, but like last I checked, which was like 2 months ago, he was all into it.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, but now
So,
he's
like,
just
what
like
happened?
not into it.
even so, my
I'm no
conspiracy
longer
theory.
interested in the communities that I've been interacting with. I'm
Yeah.
seeing.
My conspiracy theory is
I wonder
that
what the catalyst for that was.
he did that last podcast because he'd already scheduled to be on it. So I think he just didn't want to be rude or whatever. So he just did that last one since he had already said he would. It was already planned, scheduled, or whatever. I'm assuming because even on that podcast, Kamui, I think you know, he wasn't into Boruto on the last podcast he was on.
No, I remember because I don't remember if I was on that one, but there was one right before that where we were at. I was like, I was really pressing him. I was like, so like, did anything change and stuff? He was just
yeah.
like, oh, I'm just not into it or whatever he said.
I think the one you were on was when Trump was shot.
Yeah, it was.
And then the one afterwards, I think, is the one where he debated Barra, and I sent you that, and he was just not happy.
Yeah. Was that the last one then?
I think so, yeah.
Wait, when Trump got shot? Why is that?
That was
your
the one
frame of
beforehand.
reference?
He did one after that.
Yeah, like the penultimate one.
So that weird penultimate.
It could just be that like Mel's been wanting to shift his direction of his channel for a long time. He's been saying it for so long, but then like he would flip flop and whatnot.
Yeah.
And this time he's like just wanted to finally commit to doing that.
Well, but that's
act.
because the Boruto was undeniably peak and all that, but
And
like,
maybe he felt
when did it become undeniably peak? Like, when did it stop?
maybe he felt because he says main channel, but like he also then says within his video, within his content, within his community post that he doesn't feel like interacting with those people anymore, period. That being the climate community and whatnot. He doesn't feel
Well,
like
the problem
interacting
is-
with them, period. So like if you're not gonna move it to a different channel, even though you implied that you would in your previous statement, just say that you're done with it as a whole. I don't know. I'm confused by the
problem- That's what I
community
thought.
post.
The problem is that he says that like he's done with these people 50,000 times. Remember when he was done with keto like forever, and then like 2 months later he's just buddy again?
Multiple times.
Like, what happened to being done with him?
Yeah.
You've never met the real Mello. I was never in the right mind space to introduce you to him. For people, why are you laughing?
Bro, that's so
You
cap,
made me
though.
laugh.
You've never met the real Mel. Hasn't he said, like, every stream, yeah, I'm as authentic and genuine as I can be. Like, all the other YouTubers, they're fake, but I'm the real one.
He always says you
Okay.
the real me or whatever.
Like, there's no
But,
shot
like,
he
okay.
hasn't been the real Mello.
But let's devil's advocate. He could have just been saying that at the time and wasn't fully genuine about it, even if he seemed like he was.
Okay, then why should we believe him now?
Yeah, devil's
He's not
advocate
for
that.
For the people who rock with me and not only the series that I cover, I'm excited to show you what I can really do as a creator for the first time. So strap
they
into.
And how many
But here's
times
the
Wait,
has
for
he
the
said
problem:
that?
first time?
but they don't know if they rock with Mello because they haven't seen the real Mello.
Wait, but like,
See the conundrum here.
okay, So strap in, dreamers, because I'm getting ready for crazy stuff in 2025. Never stop
Crazy.
dreaming. Later.
There's
For my-
nothing
so-
that he
if
hasn't
I don't
said
watch a video,
million
I'm like,
times before.
wow, this is crazy.
For the main channel, I'm no longer interested in the communities that I was once interacting with. I'm seeking to establish a new community and nothing to do, and not the same old faces or names anymore.
He said
So,
that
like,
a million times too.
He says for the main, but for the main
yeah.
channel.
I
So
thought that was in
does he
reference
mean
to.
for a different channel? I'm
Well,
just.
I thought the
Yeah.
main channel was the channel he's posting on, and channel is like cloud podcasts and stuff. That's how I initially interpreted that.
Same.
Was that he was still going to do the podcast, but the other stuff would be different.
He would stream.
I don't know how to
Boruto
interpret what
still.
he. This community post is a little confusing to me. I don't know entirely what he's trying to say. I get, like, I'm just a little confused.
Bro, just is confusing.
But I am happy that he's moving his channel to a different direction, I guess, because he's been wanting to do it for a while and just put it off for so long. But like, doesn't make the community post any less confusing. But hey, good for him. I can't wait to see the real Mellow Man.
As opposed to the fake Mellow we've always known. Never once been genuine over the course of the 5 years we've known him.
But what do you mean the way that I said it? I said it in a very authentic and genuine way. I'm just dry.
One thing's for sure, we've never met the real Mellow.
Mellow
Does
reacts.
the real Mellow
Mellow
even exist?
Mellow
Bro.
reacts, Mellow speaks, Mellow streams.
Kamui,
Well, we haven't met him.
should we invite Mellow on as a new guest because it's the new Mellow?
Actually, I'm down for you to ask him. Like, do you want to come on the podcast as the real
Mellow
Mellow?
streams.
Like,
And
like,
make
I saw in
Trippy.
your, it'd be like, I saw in your community post, we've never seen the real Mellow. Would you be interested in being? Would you be interested in the real Mellow being a guest on the podcast? And then if he says like, "Oh, I don't want to interact with the same old communities," be like, "That's okay. It won't be because it's a different Mellow interacting with the same old communities now."
Yeah, it was the old Mellow interacting with those old communities. This new Mellow, well, he's never interacted with our
There's never-
communities.
Yeah, the new Mellow has never interacted with these communities.
Y'all are so effed up, bro. Y'all got issues.
I mean, hey, he made a community post, so he's already doing better than Trippy.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Oh, sorry.
What
Do you not
about
remember
Trippy?
that name? I don't blame you.
No, I do, but like, what about Trippy?
I'm surprised you do. How do you remember?
well, Sauron,
would
that's the
I?
problem. Yeah. What about him? We want to know
What
too.
about him?
It's been like a few months, hasn't it?
Bro,
Have y'all talked
I wish.
recently?
have we?
No.
Does the one YouTube comment reply that gave us no answer count?
No.
Does Trippy Harding one of several comments count?
So in that last podcast episode, did Mello say goodbye?
Does Trippy unharding my comment count? No, he didn't say bye.
No,
Okay.
the last, in fact, was the 6th stream, the last one.
The what?
The 6th stream.
What are you
I think
talking
that was
about?
the last one he was on.
What are
The
you
stream at
talking about?
6. Oh wait, no, he never came for that one.
The stream.
Oh,
of
you meant
6?
ours. No, he was on way after that. He was on fairly recently. What are you talking about?
Was he on for the 6th stream?
No.
The last stream Mello was on was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
No, Trippy.
Oh, Trippy.
Yeah, he was on for the 6th stream, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he was, because you and Trippy
Yeah, I
and
think-
6 started, and I came in later.
So that was the last podcast with Trippy, I think. Unless I'm just forgetting something.
Bro got us
'Cause
cloud.
I think
and
that was the
dipped.
one where he was like, that's the one that he had to get his
His pharmacy,
medicine.
yes.
And it because in the where it seemed like he was like down to come back. He was in a good mood and everything,
And then we
and then he just
scheduled
like
it.
disappeared
He
again.
didn't show up. Then he apologized. Then he scheduled it again, and then he didn't say anything ever again.
Yeah.
We need to go find whatever day he said and be like, man, Trippy, I'm sure excited for March 19th. Can't wait for that podcast with you. Or whatever day it is.
Y'all are such douchebags. Y'all are so mean.
Looking forward to it.
What do you mean? He's the mean one. This was all warranted.
We do have
Wait,
a
Trippy
few
or-
chats that I know chat wanted us to chat about. Let's see here.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Oodie, I got something to show you later.
okay,
It's a very small thing. I did it on a whim,
sure.
just randomly. Now, I'm not promising I'll do more after it. It's like a 3-second thing.
Sure, that's fine. I'm interested to see it. You're really hyping it up, so yeah. Okay. So, Space, I
No,
hope
I
you
just
didn't
said it's a
delete
very
these
small
messages.
thing.
So this YouTube chat sure as said, shout out Space. No one told you I'm Molsuski? Shout out man. Okay, so Hunky Joshua is our protagonist in this chat tonight. So Hunky Joshua, the main character, starts by saying, y'all are gonna tweak when Jura revives Hidari. He's not wrong there. So here's the part where he really begins. Okay, that was just a prelude. Here's where we get to learn. We get to know Hunky Joshua personally. There are multiple sources saying Kishimoto has been writing since chapter 52. Why don't you talk with Naruto Explained about this? Kamui, why don't we talk about this with Naruto Explained?
Is this the guy from the Twitter?
I doubt it.
What chance?
You should confirm.
He's
but I
right
doubt
though.
He sure feels the same.
Like Kishimoto's coming to the France event to answer questions.
it. Okay, I could go to that France
wasn't
event. That
doing-
doesn't mean I'm writing Boruto.
He wasn't doing stuff like that before though.
Okay.
But wasn't
He
it
is
true that he
now.
was only gonna go because Ikimoto was going too?
Well, because Ikimoto asked him to go.
Okay. So was
Yes,
Ikimoto
he's probably just
asking
gonna
him to
let
go to
Ikimoto
other
do a
events
topic.
before? No wonder he didn't.
Ikimoto asked him to. Kishimoto wasn't gonna go though, until he had asked to go.
You're proving my point. He wasn't going to go.
Yeah, but he doesn't like to do this stuff, I guess.
How do you even know he was planning not to? How do you know all of this? It's like a personal
Because that's
interaction. You just know.
I think that's what Ikimoto said.
Okay. Ikimoto just revealing the drama for some reason, just calling Kishimoto out. And he wouldn't even be here
Like,
without me.
Bro wasn't gonna go if it wasn't for me.
He doesn't even care about Naruto. It's only because I
Wait,
asked.
no, that's what the people who made the event said. When
I heard it was
okay.
always the. See, what I don't understand is, from what I heard, Bro was always dodging the Boruto interviews in the past. He never wanted to talk about Boruto, and now they're trying to say that he's dodging the Naruto interviews and only wants to talk about Boruto. Like, as if, bro.
Well, he was dodging interviews about Naruto. Period. He didn't really talk about Naruto much after like 2018.
Yeah, because Bro was trying to write Samurai 8. He wanted to talk about Samurai 8, not Boruto.
Shut up. Yeah, so Hunky Joshua, I'm changing protagonist to antagonist here. It's the plot twist revelation, plot point 19 here. Hunky Joshua says at space. Then they don't know his writing style, lol. You can clearly tell since chapter 52 it's Kishimoto, and he has been sprinkling elements of Samurai 8, something Kodachi never done.
Well, first of all, whether Kodachi does it or not doesn't matter because we all agree Kodachi's not writing. But second, okay, tell me, point to the specific thing that's Kishimoto's style that isn't the humor or love, like I already discussed. Were you even listening, by the way, mister?
Hunky Joshua.
Don't think you were. Anyway, Yes. Oh, Hunky Joshua. That sounds familiar. That's probably the Twitter guy. But anyway, it sounds like the Twitter guy. But anyway, yeah. So point to the Kishimoto style that you are referring to, and then show me how it's the same in the Minato manga, which is also written by Kishimoto. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
But Kamui, that's a different story. Of course he would write differently.
Okay, and Boruto is a different story from Naruto. Wait, but
Shippuden's a
the
different
Minato
story
manga is the
from
same as
Naruto Part
Naruto.
1.
But if the Minato manga is a different story from Naruto, why isn't it written differently than Naruto in terms of its style?
Yeah.
They're all in the same verse.
In fact, going further with that, if we're saying that Shippuden and Naruto are the same, Boruto and Two Blue Vortex are the same, why are they written differently?
And they are.
What's the point?
It just feels like everything's rushed. Two Blue Vortex is just rushed. The prophecy arc is rushed, and now they're still rushing for some reason. Like you said, maybe they really are trying to do the 100 volumes thing after all.
I'm gonna die laughing about
That's why they're in such a rush.
It's so bad. Also, what
At
the
this point, I
heck
want
is
it to be true,
Hunky
so at least I can
Joshua?
understand.
I understand you never read Samurai 8. Sauron, did you read Samurai 8? By chance? Perchance? Sauron? Sauron? Sauron?
Zoran, you there?
Sauron? Okay, well, maybe Sauron's reading it right now and he'll get back to us once he's done reading it. So Todachi absolutely incorporated Samurai 8 elements into the beginning of Boruto, in particular the OW arc with the android robot things. That was absolutely Samurai 8E. Even Boruto's always felt like Samurai 8. I'm gonna be honest, bro. With the Jogon and all the Destiny shenanigans. It's been Samurai 8. Kamui, I still can't believe you haven't read Samurai 8. You need to do that.
You guys acted like it was bad.
Who? When?
Everyone. Maybe not you, but like everyone.
No one said it's bad. A lot of people said it's complicated and the end is rushed.
I thought it was canceled, not that it was ended.
Who are we
I'm
dealing with,
confused. What happened to
Kamui?
Samurai?
We are dealing with the most prolific liars of all time.
So, was Samurai 8 canceled?
Do you mean officially or unofficially?
Let's hear both.
Yes, Samurai 8 was cancelled. Are they ever gonna say that? Definitely not.
Okay.
The most obvious thing of all time when you read it.
So it was unofficially canceled.
Bro, it's crazy. Like, you thought the end of Boruto Part 1 ended out of nowhere? Just wait till you read Samurai 8. Oh my god.
No, okay, now you're getting me wanting to read it.
Just for the ending, yeah.
Yeah. How many chapters is it?
Miso apparently read Samurai 8. So first of all, I think Samurai 8 is like a decent amount of pages per chapter. I could be wrong. It was weekly, so it might have been like 20 pages. But the first chapter was like 60 to 80 pages, and then it got lower and lower from there.
Naruto's like that too, though.
Yeah, I think it's only like, I think it's less than 40 chapters.
Okay.
I'd be down to reread it. Bro,
the problem is when I read it, should I read it just like quickly to get the gist, or should I read it the way I read?
So
that's gonna make a difference between whether it takes me a year or if it takes me 10 minutes.
Well, in this case, Kamui, you kind of don't have a point if you want to actually get the gist. Because again, that's the problem, is that it's too complicated for other people's general reading. For me, I was fine. Because I was going to read it 2 hours per 20-page chapter anyways. For other people, they didn't like it.
So I have to read it normal.
Yeah, you would read it normal, and you would like to read it normal.
Okay. I'm going to do it the way I like.
Yeah, so you just do it anyways. It's everyone else catching up to you, rather than you changing anything. It's like a manga made for us.
Yeah.
How we read.
Yeah, watch it be like my favorite series.
Yeah, Naruto becomes a 5 out of 10 in comparison.
Oh, you're hyping enough for me. Now I'm intrigued.
Well, since apparently Sauron isn't here, I don't know if I want to do this Konohamaru topic, since that's like Sauron's whole thing. So I guess we'll wait for him to
It
get
used to be
back.
hokey. What happened?
God. Here, we'll come back to the Konohamaru topic.
What are these complainers?
Okay, perfect.
What are these complainers talking about now?
Okay, Sauron,
Just
you're gonna love
freaking
this.
hate
We're talking about your favorite character, Konohamaru.
Konohamaru?
Yeah, Konohamaru.
Yes.
Yes.
What about Konohamaru?
Well, I'm glad Konohamaru was there at the beginning of Chapter 1 for the seeming reason of overcoming omnipotence because of Sarada, based on him protecting Boruto in the latest chapter. If we're connecting those two ideas. Do you like that? Thoughts? Did you think about that? Considering this chapter, Sarada, as well as from chapter 1,
Maybe.
the same character, Sarada, talking to Konohamaru, trying to convince Konohamaru to support Boruto, what does Konohamaru do that he didn't do in chapter 1? Support Boruto.
He definitely did, but he kind of didn't see another option.
Yeah. Well,
Have you read the chapter or not? It seems like you know everything that happened in the chapter. So
I just
feel like
read
you
the chapter.
Okay.
I read the chapter like an hour ago.
Okay.
Like, he didn't really see like any other option. Like, he wasn't really given a choice.
I chalk that up to
He
bad
kind of just
writing.
needed to help him.
Outside of that, though, but the point is, it was
You chalk that up to bad
Konohamaru.
writing?
It was Konohamaru in particular. Like, they not only had it be Konohamaru be the one to be in this role, having done that, they also had Konohamaru to have been there in chapter 1.
No. Not for Saruto.
I feel like Boruto doesn't even want to overcome
You haven't seen
omnipotence.
the canon designs, the official designs on Twitter?
Yeah, there's official designs, man. Are
Yeah,
they
dude, they were
good?
very official.
Yeah, they're so
You know
good.
what? We haven't got Sauron's take on Saruto being confirmed, have we? Where is that?
I don't think so. Sora, what do you think about that?
Hmm?
Is that in podcast
The
topic?
confirmation of Saruto. At least what?
I'm
It
not
might be in
talking
intro
about
topics.
that. I'm not talking about that.
Okay.
Why not?
I freaking refuse, bro.
You refuse, but it's on my screen. We're talking about it. In a recent interview, Kishimoto and Ikimoto were talking about a new project after Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. And given what they said, it's possible that they really will get a Saruto manga. Kishimoto, Ikimoto, some assistants, and even their children will work on it. And here's the interview.
Are you actually being serious?
Have you seen this, Sauron?
The interview.
Yeah.
Okay. Thoughts?
I'm not talking about it though. It's not real.
What do you mean? Can you prove that?
This
It
guy.
wasn't posted.
This
It
guy
wasn't
doesn't.
posted on April Fool's Day. It
This
was not
guy
April Fool's Day.
doesn't post real things.
Can you prove that?
Okay.
Sauron, I
Smurfy.
just heard you sigh.
I'm not doing this.
Okay, moving on. So Sauron,
Like, I
Sauron.
can, but like, I'm not doing it. Where's the next point coming in?
Okay, so two things. Well, technically multiple things, but why did Kawaki come back? Was it to protect Himawari, or because of his obsession with Boruto? The one going after Himawari was in front of him, so Kawaki acted like a thorn, going into defensive mode of the flower, instead of trying to be in offensive mode to attack the threat to the flower. Also, what is Kawaki's next move?
Probably to
Well,
moan and complain about Boruto some more.
Well,
thing
Boruto's on the
is,
ground. He could just easily kill him.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you're right. Holy
Yeah.
crap.
Just like that.
Next chapter, Kawaki gets shot in the vital spot from Jura.
Bro's probably gonna stand up and take it better than Boruto. That'll make the fans go wild too.
Bro, they need to prove me right with that. I love it. So, okay, I guess we'll do that one first.
I still want to see.
What do you think, Kawaki?
I still want to see Kawaki go Karma V2 against Jura. You know, that'll make me. That's honestly the best thing I can hope for is Kawaki just uses Karma, and then Momoshiki can come out after because of it or whatnot. Right now, I just want to see Kawaki use the fucking Karma, bring out the horn.
Maybe the whole thing about it is like Kawaki can fight Jura, but only in Karma V2. His base is so awful, he can't compete because he just didn't train his base.
Bro, I don't think that's
true. All of his power
he
comes
can
from
totally
Karma.
compete. He's not gonna win, but he can do more than get one shot in base. Y'all are so underrating him. It's unbelievable.
No, he got one.
Yeah,
if he got one
did.
shot, Karma V1.
Yeah, he did. Doesn't mean he will every time.
Okay, if he gets hit.
Jura also wasn't trying though, so if Jura just tries, he'll just do it again.
Okay, so Kawaki could fight better, but if he still gets hit, he's still going down.
Kawaki wasn't expecting it. Okay, but he's still hurt. Okay, there's no reality where Naruto would beat Jigen by himself. If Sasuke didn't beat up, Naruto looks terrible against Jigen. Jigen just takes him to the dimension and leaves, and the fight never even starts. He basically got one shot. Naruto's performance against Jigen is way better, actually, than what we would have seen in that hypothetical. As we know.
Kamui, do you know why he's saying this?
To make a comparison?
Well, there's a lot of reasons why you could be saying it, but...
not helpful.
I get his point, though, is kind of like Naruto's performance against Jigen. Like, if Jigen stays in that case, it's going to be better because, well, Naruto's just on guard in the fight a little bit more. He's prepared, whereas in the first situation, he's just not ready. So he looks worse than he actually is. I think that's his point in the current moment.
That is
the same would apply to Kawaki in this case. The first round, he's going to look worse than the second round just because he's more prepared against his opponent. He knows how strong Jura is and blah, blah, blah. That said, though, he's still... I do think he is just too weak because if Jura just tries a little bit harder, it will just be null and void anyway.
Well, hang on, because
so I don't know how much it'll matter.
You can say the same about Naruto versus Lee. Lee was above Naruto when they first met. Naruto got one shot by, what was it, the whirlwind, Konoha whirlwind? Naruto
Lee
did
whirlwind.
not... Yeah, Lee whirlwind. Lee doesn't just do that 10 out of 10 times against Naruto. Naruto's far more capable than that. It just so happened to have happened at that time.
No, and I agree, but this is how I would compare this, though. Next time around, you're right, Naruto would do unfathomably better. However, imagine, though, that Lee just takes his weights off or goes to the gates immediately the next time around. Yeah, he is just going to one-shot Naruto again off guard. He's not ready for that. The same can apply with Jura here. He can just go into try mode, and it's going to surprise Kawaki all the same.
It doesn't matter if he gets one shot or not. What matters is the performance of the other person. If Naruto's making 1,000 clones to go fight Lee before Lee can get to him to one-shot him, that's doing a better performance if the fight is just longer.
I agree. Kawaki would do better. I am agreeing with that.
Okay. Because I'm not doubting it. There's no way for Kawaki to win. But Kawaki isn't going to get there and do nothing and get one shot. That's just not going to happen.
No, but we never really answered the question. Why did Kawaki go back? Do you think we need to wait for that explanation, or do you already have an answer?
I don't want to think it's because of Boruto. I would like to think it's because of Himawari. But I feel like it would be more nuanced than that. You could also say Delta could be having convinced him. But then also, Jura's the one trying to be after Himawari. And he saw Jura. So he probably saw the claw marks, and he probably knows Jura can teleport. So going back to those, he can probably sense Boruto as well.
Right there is, I think, the best. That right there is what I think is the best you can hope for, is He thought
Yeah.
Jiro was up to something, and then he would just teleport. So he's like, I'll also just head back.
So do you think he was outside of range of sensing Boruto? And he was just flying back to the village? Or did he fly specifically straight to Boruto from where he was? Because he knew that Boruto took
Well, they've been
Himawari.
inconsistent as shit with the
I know.
sensory thing to the point that I don't know anymore.
Because, like, hypothetically, if
I
he's
don't know if
sensing Boruto...
Boruto-
Is he sensing Boruto? Is he going after Boruto because of Boruto, or is he going after Boruto because Boruto has Himawari? And don't say both. Not allowed.
Yeah. But even the sensory thing's tricky, because I don't know if Boruto didn't sense Kawaki because they were too far away, and then he sensed them when he got in range at the last minute, or if Kawaki was always in range, and so he never really thought about it until Kawaki was there.
Well, because
I don't know,
hypothetically,
'cause it didn't make it clear.
if he is out of range, he's choosing to fly towards the village, not realizing Boruto's there. So what was he gonna do once he rushed back to the village?
Well, I assume he knew Boruto was probably there.
Shout out Despa DeVito who just subscribed! Hey, Eternal Sunshine! What's up, Darshikage? A lot of chats, actually, from Darshikage and Sean. But yeah. Anyways. And the Jogan, bro, got a shot in the lung. Now the lungs are vitals. Wait, will the con in the next chapter? Well, Despa DeVito. Let me see what he actually said. What will the cover in the next chapter? So either what will they cover in the next chapter, or what will the next chapter's cover be?
Yeah, I was gonna say one or the other.
Sauron, what do you think the next chapter cover will be? I like it to be Jura. We haven't got enough Jura chapter covers. I think we already got
It'd
one.
be cool
but-
for Jura, but like it'd be hilarious if it was Momo.
Honestly, I don't think because I think Momoshiki would probably come out the end of the chapter.
Exactly.
And so he'd be the cover the next one. So I'm thinking either Jura or Kawaki.
Imagine how bad that would be if they just spoiled Momoshiki's coming in the next chapter.
I
for
don't
the
want
cover.
another Kawaki one, bro.
We've only
I
had
don't-
one, haven't we? Just chapter 4?
One was too many. It was. Wow, that covers.
I think Hidari cover, I think, is the best cover.
You don't
of
like
Keep
Kawaki's
Looking.
foot?
That cover was so
Yeah.
fun.
Manifesting the greatest character of all of fiction, the Pancake Princess, wakes up and heals Boruto and Sarada. I have seen Eternal Sunshine comment this a lot recently. Also, yes, Space, we're probably going to do the next podcast now.
It would. What? Imagine if Sarada does medical ninjutsu.
I mean, she knows it, and she's apparently good at it now. Allegedly.
I think it'd be funny if Amato was just the cover of the next chapter and he's just not even in it.
God. Awful.
Or just like irrelevant in it. Well, Kashin Koji could be a cover option too, actually.
Okay. Be interesting. What
You
do
know,
you think
actually, never mind Kawaki fighting Jura. Let's have Kashin Koji fight him.
Kamui, what did you think of my thorn
Bro.
analogy? Kawaki acted like a thorn going into defensive mode of the flower instead of trying to be in offensive mode to attack the threat to the flower.
Well, I heard that. I was
Yeah.
just like, but Kawaki's not supposed to be the thorn.
We
Granted,
don't know.
or we could be the flower. See, the problem is, what does the flower think? Like from the chapter 12 thing?
Yeah,
It has a picture of Sumire.
exactly.
One translation of her last name is Flower,
And Violet.
which makes it seem like it could be a red herring, but it feels like they're trying to say it's Sumire.
But then also, Himawari literally is wearing flower shirts, and like her name is like, what is it? Sunflower? Dandelion? Sunflower. And
Yeah, I
like
think
she's
it's Sunflower,
given the
yeah.
grave on Neji a flower. Like her whole thing is flowers.
And then you've got the Shinju that are kind of like flowers, or Thornsil's kind of like a flower. The Thornsil's kind of like a seed and a flower and a thorn and a fruit.
Bro, I
know
don't
what it
care
is.
to make these stupid thorn metaphors really. It's just a meme right now until they make it good. Stupid. I'm gonna do it, but I'm not gonna do it seriously. So, Kamui, I don't think you answered yet. What is Kawaki's next move? What do you think it actually is rather than what you want it to be? If you were Kawaki with Kawaki's characterization consistent, how would you react right now?
Based off his dialogue to Delta, he's gonna do what he can.
Well, he didn't, so.
He's gonna do it this time.
Okay.
He's gonna.
That's character growth.
You know, I don't care. I'm gonna die on the hill. He's gonna freaking use his karma seal. Either he's gonna forget about the Boruto thing, or he's just not gonna care because he needs to use it. He's gonna do what he can, and it's gonna cause
he's
problems.
Weak.
And if that doesn't happen, I'll just cry about it later.
We already covered this, but I want Sauron's take on this. This is depending on the translation you read, but Abdonigar says, yeah, because Jura said he will feed kayaking, it's supposed to be Kawaki, to the Tintails. He didn't say he will devour...
He means kayaking.
He does mean kayaking. He didn't say he's going to devour Kawaki himself. He was probably referring to that tree. So, Sauron, do you think this translation is valid? Because if it is, this confirms, without a shadow of a doubt, unless Jura's oddly, for some reason, talking in the third person, which he's never done before, this confirms Jura and the Tintails aren't the same. Jura isn't the Tintails.
Yeah, because the Jura said he will feed kayaking to the to the Tintails. He didn't say he'll devour Kawaki himself.
Gonna feed him to something that's not him. Something other than him. A different entity.
He says that in chapter... What
12.
again?
At the very end.
Well,
That Kawaki is enough, and that Boruto needs to die.
oh yeah.
I think in the official Viz, he just says Kawaki will be enough as a Suzuki fodder.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I read the final page. I guess I did.
In whatever translation that I read and he read, it does say to the Tintails.
Very well. Kawaki should be enough as an Atsuski fodder. Boruto, he knows sort of. Very well as Atsuski fodder. Boruto that he knows is Thorn already. He doesn't say he'll feed him to the Tintails in the chapter.
Not in this
translation
translation, is what I'm saying. In another translation, he does.
No.
Instead of Otsutsuki fodder, he says
And
to
I
the
will
Tintails.
say,
or enough for the Tintails or whatever.
and then
okay.
one translator went into the specifics about the words they use for food to say that basically there's like a term for like pet food, which is more so what he refers to rather than like human food for himself, which could be an indication that the Tintails one is more accurate, or at least the interpretation to go for. Assuming he's right, but I have no reason to doubt him.
Kamui, did you want to pull?
What I will
that
say
up?
though,
'Cause I think that's in podcast.
is that another thing I will point out though is I know Oodie, this would still count as being separate from the Tintails, but just in case, if Jura is the Hidari to the Tintails, the same way that Hidari, what Hidari is to Sasuke, if Jura is that to the Tintails, to me that's like more or less the same connection. So I'm fine with that.
You should read this.
But that is slightly different. I get like it's two different entities, Hidari versus Sasuke, Jura versus Tintails, but it's the same idea.
Do you notice anything odd about this translation, dude?
Which one?
Put in general.
Oh, you know.
Does anything stand out as weird for you?
Isn't this the same translation we were just reading?
Is anything weird about the translation? Scroll up.
Okay, very
Read
well.
it carefully.
Kawaki alone should be enough as Otsutsuki fodder. Was that it? Is that what you... Okay.
Wait, scroll down. Do they do it the same way in the next one? They say Atsuki Oh, Tsutsuki.
Oh, Tsutsuki.
Well, they do that a lot, though,
Yeah, they do.
with the H there. So it's not the first time they've done that. I don't know why they do it inconsistently, though.
I don't know why they do that. That's actually so weird, bro.
I think it would be really funny. This isn't in any of the translations, but if it said, very well, Quack alone should be enough for the
if you
Otsutsuki
spell
fodder.
it-
Borto, or
If
Otsutsuki
you
Borto,
spell it
I've
that way in
decided that
Google-
I need to die. Instead of you.
If
Oh
they-
yeah, just like of the Mitsuki thing that I need to make the same error.
That's so good.
Bro, if you try typing Otsutsuki that way in Google, they literally like, bro, you spelled it wrong.
It'd be so funny if there's just like a red line underneath it, just a squiggly thing from like Microsoft Word or whatever. Like, you spelled this wrong.
Now, out of curiosity,
Wait. When you put the word into Japanese, it autocorrects it back to its proper spelling.
also in the Naruto manga, also by Viz, let me see how they spell Kaguya's name.
Go for it.
I imagine Hagoromo says Kaguya Tsusuke at some point, right?
I
Does
don't
he?
have this.
Or do I have to go to the Madara scene?
I think the Madara thing would just be
Ooh, you
easier to
should put-
find.
Actually, wait. Hagoromo probably just says, "I am Hagoromo Otsutsuki."
Oh, okay, wow. What's it called?
Otsutsuki.
Oh, Otsutsuki.
It's like Santa Claus in here.
Oh no, my name is Hagoromo. Fuck. Come on, man.
I told you, you went to the
Say your last
stupid
name.
one. I don't know why you went to that one.
Huh?
Whatever. You never answer what Quaggy's next move.
What are you
is.
talking about?
You should have gone to the Quaggy
Oh, here we go.
one.
Oh, no way. They spelt it the same way in the Naruto viz. Oh, Otsutsuki.
There you go.
Why?
I guess they're consistent. Wait, so now let's see how they do in like the Boruto manga part 1. It's like when Amato is talking about the Otsutsuki. Does he do that the same way?
Oh my god. While you're doing that, can I do the next topic?
No way! Oh my god, I must have been tuning this out. This nonsense.
You weren't tuning out.
Oh,
You yourself
Suzuki.
said they've done this a lot and that it doesn't actually matter. What do you mean you were tuning it out?
Well, I thought they were inconsistent. It seems like they were more consistent with it than I realized.
Well, no, maybe the
Alright,
official's
dude.
inconsistent or consistent, but like I'll.
I'm
leave some
about
room. You're about to dip. Thank you, Sauron.
All right, see ya. He really went to sleep, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, he's out.
Alright, goodbye. Good night, everyone.
Oh, he woke up.
Okay, so Kamui.
All right, what were we talking about?
Could Jura and the Shinju be telling themselves that they should have a target? Because they think they're Tin Tails and think that's what Tin Tails is supposed to do, and they don't actually have the instinct to eat Otsutsuki / targets at all. They just tell themselves / trick themselves into desiring it. Similar to Ada's omnipotence.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of ways of looking at it, but yes, for the most part, I do think that is. I mean, they probably have instincts to devour from the tentacles. I'm not going to say that they don't have the instincts, but I do think that they are mentally, consciously tricking themselves into it, or at the very least, Jura is tricking them into it. And so, like, he's telling them, like, hey, follow your instincts to devour. That's going to give you your identity. No, it's not, okay? If anything, it's going to crush their identities. And whether Jura actually knows that and is being, evil, malicious guy, or if he is actually falling for the Ten Tails' instinctual trap, that remains to be seen. But I'll probably look at it a little bit more like that, which is kind of what you're saying, but slightly different.
Yeah. It's like whether it's a placebo effect or brainwashing or generational trauma or whatever, it's possible that he is just deluding himself into thinking it because he thinks he's supposed to be Ten Tails, or he is Ten Tails, and this is what he thinks
Right.
Ten Tails do or act. So similarly, hypothetically, if you were a kid and your parents are like, oh, that Obama guy, everyone should hate him, and then you don't even like know him, you don't even know what he looks like, you don't know his policies, you don't even know which freaking side of the aisle he's on, you just hate Obama. It's because you think you should. But it's like a genuine hatred. Like you believe that you hate him and that you should. You justify your own reasons.
I would say just use like Attack on Titan for that one. That's a great example.
That works, sure. Let's go with that. Because again,
But it's like he's brainwashed into thinking, you're like, hey, this is what we're supposed to do. You know, that's how you find your identity. This is what 10 Tails do. This is our job, blah, blah, blah. But then, like we've discussed, Jura seems to be doing anything but actually doing it.
Yeah. And then, like I say here, similar to Ada's omnipotence, I'm just saying.
You can't prove that. But actually, this is a little bit of a tangent, but since you mentioned it, so I was actually wondering. So, like, the reason why this just came up was just it just came to my mind because of the whole Twitter argument. Basically, for a little bit of context, guys he's making a thread saying like Kawaki is a pee poo poo head. He wanted Boruto's life, blah blah blah. A lot of people were disagreeing, and then I commented on one thing he said at one point where I was just like, that's because it was Ada doing it. And then we got into the whole argument and he was like, oh, it's his, it's Kawaki's desire. And I was basically saying, I'm like, look, Kawaki expresses his desires beforehand. He just wishes Boruto wasn't Momoshiki's vessel. And instead, Momoshiki's vessel was just some outsider. Nowhere does he express he wants Boruto's life. And to me, it seems more like this is what Ada thought Kawaki would want. Because Kawaki, after Omnipotence, Kawaki immediately expresses hatred for living Boruto's life. Clearly, he doesn't like it. And so, the long story short is, I'm like, it's either it was actually Ada, really, and she's reflecting what Kawaki said. Not perfectly, but the general gist of it. Or it's bad writing. And he's all, oh, it's not bad. It's just because you don't like it doesn't make it bad. I'm like, no. What would have been good writing is if Kawaki said, if only he and I switched positions, and then he did it and found out he didn't like it afterwards, / felt remorse of it. That would be good writing. That's not what we got. Anyway,
I'm the one guy who would like it. The reason I don't like it is only because it's bad writing. It's because it's bad writing, I don't like it. I would have liked it.
Exactly. Or if it's just Ada's desire and they're just misinformed. They think it's Kawaki, but it's actually Ada. That can work as a plot revelation later on. And I want that to be the case at this point. But anyway, the question was, given that Kawaki invoked omnipotence or activated omnipotence through Ada, but when he touched her and blah, 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 I got the question of, what if, very similar to Eren, who's not royal blood, when he has to touch someone who have royal blood to use the founder's power, because Ada's not an Otsutsuki, what if she can only activate omnipotence when in contact with an Otsutsuki? In this hypothetical, that means that when she did the love charm, she must have just been touching Jigen in some way at the time. Thoughts? Okay. Like it, dislike the idea?
For context, just for the stream, I have the panel on screen that we're talking about. This is the raw Japanese. I translated this before stream. Momoshiki here is saying, and I'll just say this in Japanese and English, Yatsuga Eira o tsuzite, it's a weird word, but tsuzite, zenno o hatsuro shi. So what this is basically saying is, Yatsuga is like, he, him, that bastard, blah, blah, blah. And then Ada, that's Ada. Oh, that's an object marker. Tsuzite, so I already translated this to you, but I'm going to pull it up on the G-Show dictionary just to show it. Where do I have it translated to you? Yeah. So it's not
We're pretty close. Yeah.
actually activated, but it doesn't make sense what the word it is. So that's like the closest word that it would be. Was it this? It was te. What was it? What was it? Susie. Okay. Yeah. So through or via are the two that make sense.
Via Ada. Through Ada, he did it.
Yeah. The other word, Hatsuro. Add a she at the end. This one isn't activated per se. Let me take off the she. Yeah, putting into operation or invocation.
Invoked.
Yeah. Obviously, those words don't really fit here. Maybe you could say that bastard invoked omnipotence through Ada, or he.
It's just what Viz says.
What did Vid say?
Viz says like he went through Ada and invoked in omnipotence or something like that.
Okay.
I think it says he went through Ada and invoked omnipotence.
Okay. That's fine. Yeah.
The point was the translation he was posting was like some fan translation, and it said he activated his omnipotence. And I was like, and we were getting into an argument, and he was like, stop using your. Let me go find what he said. And I was like, I'm not like. It was pretty funny the response I said on this.
Because again, the way you break down Japanese sentences is topic, time, place, subject, verb. So Yatsuga, he's the one who did it. Ada is the one it was through. Hatsudo's the verb, it's at the end, so activated. Suzite, through Ada, because again, that's what's being done through. And Zeno's omnipotence, and I was also making it an object. So yeah, that's the sentence.
Yeah, so he said, he's going off about how you skipped reading manga and your own fan fictions here. How come you read this panel comes to the conclusion that's Ada's mistake when Mabushiki clearly stated that he activated his omnipotence through Ada? And I said, this is not even the official translation, lol. Bring up the Raws. I have a Japanese-speaking friend who can translate to confirm. And he says, you're just conveniently shifting the goalpost. Tell me how you counter this statement from Mabushiki without using headcanon or just leave. And then I said, let me scroll. I hate the way Twitter does this shit. I said, no, I'm not. You sent an unofficial translation in place of the official one with no explanation for why you chose this version either. I am doubting the accuracy of your translation as the official says otherwise, parentheses, the counter, and proposed a solution to look at the Raws. I was like, what do you mean I'm shifting the goalposts? I'm telling you your translations are wrong. What are you not getting?
Oh my god. Yeah, the way to translate the sentence directly into English, it's so goofy, but just to do it, it's like, he is the one of which Ada is through omnipotence is activated or invoked.
Yeah, and so, but that gets interesting though, that especially when you word it that way, that gets interesting with the idea that what if Ada can't activate omnipotence unless she's in contact with an Otsuki, just like Aaron's situation with royal blood people.
My real discrepancy here is that you're comparing it to Attack on Titan. So my bias
I'm only doing that. But I'm only doing that just to help emphasize how it works.
Yeah.
Just that it works the same way, but just swap Ada and Otsuki.
It's almost backwards because Aaron's the one touching Ymir, and then Ymir's doing it because Aaron can't really.
No,
do
I think season 2 he touches Dinah Fritz and then he uses it.
Well, so like that's like the rule in universe, but like he's touching Dinah Fritz, and that's giving Ymir the command to do something she could have done at any time.
Remove that aspect of it. Don't look as deep into it. Just the concept.
Okay.
Aaron has to touch someone with royal blood.
Sure.
We're going with that. We're not going to have the Ymir part. You know, the part you hate.
Ymir's one of the best parts about Attack on Titan.
I thought you didn't like the Ymir thing.
Well, I don't like Attack on Titan, and Ymir's in Attack on Titan. Like, it can be the cleanest part of the mud. That's fine.
Anyway.
Okay.
I'm just saying that, especially with that raw translation, it would work well with that. Of course, they would still have to be Ada's desire, not Kawaki, because I seriously doubt Jigen's desire was for Ada to be loved. So we can go ahead and rule that out. She clearly was her latent desire.
Yeah. Like, the sentence starts with he in reference to Kawaki. So it's like Kawaki activated omnipotence through Ada. But it is, like, rather, it is more like through Ada, Kawaki activated omnipotence. Like, but both are, like, equally correct, but not all the way directly correct translated. It's like it is up to your interpretation. Is it he activated it through Ada, or through Ada he activated it? And that does change the context, in my opinion.
Yeah.
As weird as that is. Yeah. Because
one makes it seem more like Kawaki's activating it, and the other makes it seem like Ada's activating it in a slightly nuanced way.
Because again, the words here, I'm just going to change Yatsu to Kawaki. So the words here, and I'm going to remove the object marker. So, Kawaki, Ada, through omnipotence, invoke. Yeah. So, I hate to say it, but I completely stole your code topic without remembering. Why didn't Code just kill
we already
Boruto
talked about.
when he was trapped in Akka?
Well, this is slightly different. You were referencing. Oh, actually,
Hidari. But yeah.
The whole time I thought you were talking about chapter 12. Were you talking about chapter 4?
No, I was talking about chapter 12. But I feel like this applies.
Okay, this one was about chapter
4. No, I know, but I feel like it's the exact same concept. But you're right, it's a different situation. We can still talk about it.
Except it's actually worse in this case, because Saran can't use the Code wasn't there to see what's going on excuse, because Code is there to see what's going on in this case.
Exactly, yeah.
And then, but yeah, why doesn't he just do it real quick? I guess the reason would be, well, he can have Boruto be the sacrifice to the Ten Tails to become a divine tree. But he knows that Kawaki can do that too. As far as Code's concerned, if they're not both going to get fed, it's one or the other.
Yeah. So also
and then the next
side note, but the fact that Code is saying it seems like they'll devour you on their own. This is implying that they are the ones who's going to eat it. And to be fair, I'm sure other people are going to debunk this by saying, oh, well, how would Code know? Frickin' Ikimoto wrote this in for a reason. Come on.
Also, Bug was trying to, like...
Literally.
Clamp Boruto in that crab claw hand. And he's like, have you offered yourself up to be devoured? It doesn't feel like he's... Now, granted, in fairness, when the way this could work, which would be like both at the same time, especially using Jura as the best example. Jura, like, as he told Himura, you become nourishment for me inside this tree. When he does so, that might just transfer back to the main body of the Ten Tails anyway, and just function as if the Ten Tails is eating them. So it could just be both at the same time. But it definitely seems like they are at least planning on devouring first, whether it transmits back to the Ten Tails or not.
Okay. I will say here again, going back to Code, this again is just way worse for Code, regardless of the Sauron thing, because not only is Boruto captured here, but the tides are much worse turned against Boruto anyways. It'd be so much easier to fight against Boruto here than it would for the Hidari. Like, again, it'd be so easy.
He
I
could
don't
do
even
his
have to
whole
do
claw
anything.
mark on the neck / their throat trick so easily right now.
Exactly. Like, I don't even have to do anything since it's so easy. don't you want to do it? In fact, because it's easier, shouldn't you want to do it even more, technically, since there's less in your way?
And that's why the next thing I posted,
Yeah.
can we even call this in character for code?
An
Giving
unforeseen
its
development.
code's life
Works for me.
goal.
I feel like a load
I
is
feel
off
like a
my
load
shoulders.
is off my shoulders.
This is out of character.
What do
for
you
sure.
mean? Like, a load is off your shoulders? This wasn't a load that Ishiki left for you. This is a load that you wanted to do personally on behalf of Ishiki. Ishiki didn't tell you to do that. What do you mean a load's off your shoulders?
Like, you wanted to do this.
That's
You've
not
gone
how
out
that
of your
works.
way
Like, for example,
to do this.
If my life goal is to be the world's strongest man, let's say, and oh man, somebody could do it for me. I feel like the load's off my shoulders. What? No. It's the same as this.
Oh my god, bro, it's so bad. Doesn't make any sense at all.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, so that is just straight up out of character for code. Unless they're giving him the redemption arc, of which I'm all here for. I don't care if it makes sense out of character even still with that. Alright, I thought this was funny. 2 full pages of speed lines. That's how you
That feels
know
like the normal,
Wikimoto is
though.
drawing this. It's 2 full pages. Nothing but speed line. Not a single background. Not even a white background. Just speed lines.
You know what's crazy though? Ikimoto's thing in the Naruto manga was the backgrounds, right? Like, is that supposed to be a specialty, the backgrounds?
Oh
What?
no.
Where do they go?
He's too busy on the foreground.
Like, if anything, I would expect him to have these insane backgrounds and crappy foregrounds.
The crazy
Like,
thing is, he
given his
did when
specialties.
Kodachi was the one writing. I don't understand.
Bro, Kishimoto's not writing this show. He can't be.
It's like, we got a trade-off. We got better looking characters, but it was at the expense of the backgrounds. I don't know why. God. By the way, something
Now the backgrounds are speed lines or smoke.
Oh. So, thought of something. It's not in podcast topics. Just gonna bring this up off the top of my head, kind of. I thought of this earlier, but so when Hidari was hit with that not full power Uzuhiko, but a much stronger Uzuhiko, do you think the effects of the dizziness were much more intense for Hidari, or were they the same as Code? Or because Hidari's a Shinju, literally made of wood, can he even feel dizziness? Do you think the effects would be linear?
I think
or
he should feel
exponential?
dizziness, just given
Asymptotic?
everything else. I would think it should be stronger because the rotational force applied to him is stronger. So he should just have more rotationalness around him, making him dizzier.
It did,
I would think that only makes sense to me.
but like it also destroyed his body. So like maybe the rotational force literally just went through him and affected the clouds above him. It just didn't even hit him. It just tore through his body.
Well,
That's
I think
the
it
weird
applied
thing
to him,
with
but
Uzuhiko.
because his body was destroyed doesn't mean anything. Like, can Hidari even be dizzy if he can't
Exactly.
stand up and be balanced in the first place? Like,
Yeah. But then we get to
it's almost like he hurt him too much for that to even make sense.
So also, okay. Next, do you think the effects of Uzuhiko would scale linearly, exponentially, or asymptotically?
I think the dizziness would just scale in equal proportional rate to the power. So if the power is double, the dizziness should be double. The power is quadruple, the dizziness should be quadruple. I think it should just scale in proport. The graph, it might not be like the same quantity on the number lines, but the graph shape should probably be the same as whatever the power is.
Okay. What's funny to me is that Boruto was so concerned about him getting away after having being hit with Uzuhiko. Like, he would heal, he would come back, and then he would be beyond useless.
That is a good point.
Right? So yeah.
Like, bro should just be lying there helpless. I mean, maybe this is my way around this. Hidari would be so helplessly useless that he just doesn't teleport back. And so Boruto just can't get to that room.
You
So
know, I was
Hidari's just
considering
gone
that, and
if he
Boruto.
escapes.
I don't know if Boruto would know this or knows what that room looks like or even has seen the room, but like, I feel like Hidari would get back because he would go through the claw marks and he would come out of the top of the black cube. He would heal, probably stand up, and then stumble over and fall accidentally down back into the black cube. Now, whether or not he has to actually activate it, I don't know, because it's weird that he can just stand on it in general.
Yeah, I think they have to like choose to go through it.
Okay. I feel like even if he's stumbling, I think he would go back before like realizing exactly what's happening, maybe.
I mean, I can see it because he's desperate, you know, he gets Sauron and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like
he just
but
wouldn't
if he's just
care.
like too dizzy to like move, then he might not be able to. He might just realize he just falls.
That'd be funny if that affected like how you go through the claw marks. Like he wants to go through Boruto, but he accidentally comes out like through Jura.
Yeah, because he's so dizzy. He picks the wrong path.
Exactly. That's hilarious to me. Okay, so assuming the effects are linear or exponential, do you think Hidari could even see Kawaki?
Um
I mean, we saw what Code was
Ah.
seeing. Code's vision was pretty crazy. Not only was it like upside down, but it like the
Yeah.
swirls were all around his
I mean-
peripheral vision.
Hidari just doesn't have a reaction to Kawaki, so like I don't know if he saw him or not.
Like either Kawaki's spinning so fast that he can't register that it is Kawaki, or there's so many swirly spirals that he literally is just blind.
Yeah. He just sees circles and nothing more.
It's so funny.
It should be one of the two, honestly, though.
Bro, that's a real life podcast topic. Can we not maybe fight with Uzuhiko, because I feel like that'd just be a dizzy fight, drunk dizzy fist or whatever. But I feel like doing an obstacle course or something while being quote unquote hit with Uzuhiko, aka Dizzy, that could be fun.
The dizzy fist.
I mean, that could be a thing we do, a dizzy
Why
fist
not?
fight. Yeah, let's add that in there.
Honestly, write it down real quick.
Okay.
I'm away from the dizzy fist. We could also do the dizzy obstacle course, of course. I've
Yeah.
done something similar before, so I'd be down.
The dizzy fist / obstacle course. Okay.
That
So-
unironically might just be the most dangerous one, even more than the drunken fist.
By the way, can I just say, the Rasengan as it is should be the dizzy thing. I don't see why they had to make Uzuhiko a dizzy thing. Like, the Rasengan's whole thing is it's a spiral, and when it hits you, it makes your body spiral.
Well, only that one random fodder tune.
No, it's in the movies too. It's probably in a couple canon things
Oh,
as
okay.
well. But like, you're not gonna say that guy Jiraiya hit wasn't dizzy. Plus, this would just like fix, in my opinion, when Naruto hit Kabuto with the Rasengan. Imagine, that's so much better. Kabuto
yeah.
gets up. He's like, ha ha ha, it didn't hurt me enough to take me down after all. And he's like, oh my god, I'm dizzy, I can't get up. Rather than, oh, I can heal. Oh, wait, I
Yeah.
can't heal. Oh, that's weird. Why? It's the Rasengan, it's not an anti-heal. I don't get it. I don't like
Now
that
there are
explanation.
some times where you would have to rewrite some. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. So like
Yeah.
Shoujoji just tanking Boruto's Rasengan probably would have to get changed because he got hit by it, so he's
Yeah.
dizzy. But I think most of the time though, when they hit the Rasengan, that is just like the end of the fight. So like for the it just
It doesn't have to be because of the Rasengan itself. It could just be because the impact of it usually makes you spin around. And so it would only apply to those instances. So we could just pick and choose based on that.
okay, but then that only applies to the movie or
Well, I'm saying that we could
the
just rewrite
random
it to be
dry
whenever
guy.
we want it to happen. And we would write some consistent
Okay,
rule
yeah.
of like they had to hit them in a certain spot, or they have to be off guard, or blah blah blah. They have to be a certain power level to be
Yeah,
effective. Yeah,
has to be a reason for why they spin or don't.
exactly. But yeah,
I mean, honestly though, that I have to agree with you though, because for Uzuhiko, honestly, more than the dizziness with this new edition is
Yeah.
the way it draws its power. And so the Uzuhiko would just be equally as important, really.
like now it feels like the dizziness. What's even the point? Because like it
It
feels
was
like
only
its whole thing is that you can
it was
charge
only
it up
relevant for the
now.
code part.
Exactly. Like I feel like it's not even gonna be relevant again, which sucks. Because like, why does
Honestly,
Boruto even
yeah,
care to
because
charge it up? Hit him with the 1% Uzuhiko, just make him dizzy. It's gonna be effective.
yeah, just destroy him otherwise. Like, yeah.
I don't know.
Because
bro.
honestly, I kind of liked the idea that it was like just the dizziness was, and it was
Yeah.
OP. It was already OP enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Like
this
that's
is
my
such a
headcanon for why Code
Deus Ex
left.
Machina. Like,
Exactly. Like Code could have fought Boruto alongside the Shinju and definitively won, but Code's putting himself at risk of having Boruto hit him with Uzuhiko before Boruto dies, and Boruto obviously wouldn't rescind it this time anyways. So Code doesn't want to be dizzy for the rest of his life, just let the Shinju take it so he doesn't have to take that risk. So that's what would make sense to me.
see, the problem though is it feels like Code acknowledges like, yeah, Boruto beat me. I don't want to fight him. I'll let them fight you instead. But it's just like he's already cornered. Like, just do the fucking claw mark throat slit thing that you've already done. Why did they have to retcon chapter 56? It's like, Code, you have done this bullshit. Just do it again.
And maybe, okay.
Why did he get worse at fighting when his limiters came off? I will never forget this.
They haven't explained this, but I could see the possibility that Code can't put his finger claws through the Shinju's claw marks. They would need the Shinju's consent, if anything, maybe, unlike the Claw Grimes, who are just mindless. I could imagine Boruto's fighting Hidari, and Code wants to help, but Hidari isn't allowing Code access to his Hidari claw marks, for example, just as a possibility. For whatever reason.
It's possible, yeah.
Again, they haven't explained it. I can just imagine it being possible. But it would still be a problem because they haven't explained it.
Yeah.
And I don't think it would make sense anyways, because why would they do that? But
However they care. They look at Code as an ant.
yeah. It's like, regardless of helping out Hidari, if Hidari's fighting Boruto, even if Hidari doesn't want Code to do it, Code would just do it anyways. That's just Code's character. Like, Ada didn't want Code to use Damon. Ada and Damon are both stronger than Code. Code did it anyways. I don't care if it's out of desperation because he was fighting Quaggy and Quaggy was stronger than him and couldn't get away. His last resort, he still did it, bro. He still would have done it.
Bro, they retcon Code's character.
It's awful. This isn't chapter 12 necessarily, but I thought this was funny.
Yeah, so with this one,
Why bro got Sage
I will
mode
say-
activated.
It's hard to say because let me check real quick.
I mean, it's
Because
funny. It's
Koji's
not
eyes are always like that.
Oh, bro, they're not always like that. Like, I
No,
guess
they
at
are.
an angle, it's probably an
He
art
always has
error.
those eyes when he's looking through the toads. At least we've seen it multiple times in part 1.
That's interesting. If he has the eyes when he looks at the toads, is that like a dojutsu? Didn't think about that.
And now what I'm going to check right here, though, is when he activates Sage Mode versus Ishiki. Because I think he has some black outline around his eyes, like more noticeable than anything there. I'm just going to double check in case I'm wrong. But when he activates... Oh, yeah. He gets like thick pigmentation around the eyes that he doesn't have there. So he's not using Sage Mode there. That's just his
Okay.
normal eyes when he looks through the toads.
I had no idea. I just learned something new. Once again, another thing Kodachi implemented. That's awesome. I like that.
No, and I will
What a
say,
coincidence.
let's just say he was using Sage Mode for a minute. I would just assume he needs Sage Mode to look at the toads.
Okay. Or that he's sensing Boruto even.
Yeah. Probably through the toads, but...
Here's a lot
But
of...
really, no, real quick, speaking of the toads, I want an explanation of the toads. What
they
are
robots
they?
or are
Where
they
did
real?
they come from?
Yeah.
What? Can we get that? They're bombs, they're cameras, they're anything Koji needs. It seems like they're ninja tech and not real, but it also seems like they're real. But if they're just ninja tech, why does Koji have an endless amount of them? Did Amato seriously make like 50 billion toads for Koji to use? Like,
where did he get these toads from? Yeah. Like, was he just born with Sage Mode? He just knew how to do it without any ill consequence? Because it takes a long time to master. It's not just something you can be born with, I don't think.
well, Mitsuki, so I won't say that. But
True. Well, his isn't Toad Sage Mode. I don't think Snake Sage Mode works the same way.
well, it just depends. I mean, I think I won't say that Koji can't just be born with it, with the mono shenanigans. But my main thing though is I want an explanation of these toads. Mitsuki snakes are like coming from Mitsuki's body. They're like a jutsu. These toads are summoning jutsu toads, camera toads. Like, where are they coming from?
Yeah.
I want answers.
I mean, at the very least, I'm pretty confident. I'm like 95% confident. The giant steam imp he used to summon when he crushed Ao, I'm confident that one is a real toad. That's the only toad I'm sure is real.
The big one, yeah.
Yeah.
If Amato made that thing, Jesus Christ. Well, actually, I have an interesting thing. What if all the little toads are clones of the big toad? And they're just used as like tools?
That could work.
That's something Amato would do.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still curious where the big toad came from, but I don't need that answered right now.
The big toad could be a cyborg. Just a modified... It could be Gamabunta's cousin that was modified, you know. I still want an answer, of course, but
Yeah.
like...
Sure.
That's
So
definitely interesting, though.
we'll do a couple more probably, because we're already, I think, 1 or 2 hours past what we said.
Yeah.
So I thought I was watching J-Man's Chapter 12 reaction on YouTube since he did that. He had a lot of funny quotes. So to this, did he just get trumped? This is like a day or two after the Trump thing, too. Stupid quote.
That's funny. I was playing on Super Smash Bros. The other day. They found a Trump map of like when Trump got shot. We played on it.
That's ridiculous. Some more quotes J-Man
They like
said.
made like Trump getting shot. Like it was in such good art and everything. I was like, wow.
Hilarious. But more quotes. Sumire didn't even box. Why is she in the cover? I think it's a silly quote. But yeah,
Bro, I love J-Man.
I know. I don't like their attitude. I don't remember what this is in reference to, but it was probably something funny. Oh, right. In terms of like Konohamaru and Nishi. I agree,
Yeah.
bro. Freaking screw them this chapter. They're being mean for no reason. Why is he calling him Master Sasuke? I thought that's interesting. He
Okay.
also picked up on that. Not to
Yeah,
say.
so do you want to get into that topic now? Because this relates to the thing from the other day with Konohamaru. I was wondering if it was what you were talking about, because I'm making a whole video that does relate to Master Sasuke. And I don't know if you want to just get into it at least briefly.
It sounds like you do. The problem is I know it's not going to be brief.
Yeah.
Do you want to do it now or do you want to hold off?
I leave that up to your jurisdiction.
One thing I could do, I could go to the bathroom while listening on my phone, while you say your piece.
I guess I can just briefly introduce. Okay, so
Okay.
in this chapter, Boruto starts by saying, in order to save Master, cuts himself off in order to save old man Sasuke, or Uncle Sasuke.
Mm-hmm.
The point is, he was going to save Master, cuts himself off, and changes it to old man Sasuke.
Yeah.
Boruto has done this cutting himself off thing a couple of times. The three most noticeable ones are chapter 5. He says, I've got this old man Master. Then in chapter 7, the world's famous, my mom, his wife too. And then this one. Now, in each chapter,
What about when he talks to Sarada?
you can pretty
you count that?
easily. So, hold on.
When he talks to Sarada, when Mitsuki shows up? The last thing he says to Sarada? The 3 people he's going to say?
So there's also that one. That one's a little bit different.
Yeah,
but yeah, he cuts himself off there to say, like, and also, no, never mind. That one, we didn't get the start of it to say what exactly he was cutting himself off on, but that's another one.
Yeah.
He cuts himself off. But that one's the most tricky because we got too little. But in the other 3, individually, it's pretty straightforward to interpret what Boruto's probably thinking behind it. So for the first one, chapter 5, it's Old Man Sasuke, Uncle Sasuke. That is Boruto's familiar title for Sasuke. That's who Sasuke is to Boruto. In Boruto's mind, it's Old Man Sasuke. That's how he thinks of him. But it seems to me, it's almost like he feels obliged to respect Sasuke and call him Master. Probably because of A, what Sasuke did for him, and B, in Sasuke's memories, that's not Boruto's nickname for him. That's Kawaki's nickname. And so part of him might just feel wrong about it. It comes out on accident because it's a familiar title. You know, that's how Boruto thinks of him. But I feel like he wants to call him Master. And he usually gets it right whenever he slips up, he corrects himself. So there's that. Then in chapter 7, it seems like he's cutting himself off because he's not trying to basically expose Kawaki and, you know, who he is. He's not trying to conflict with Mitsuki's memories. Kawaki, in character, doesn't call Naruto and Hinata mom and dad. He calls them Lord 7th, and Hinata doesn't even have a name. Kawaki never refers to her by anything, but he's not calling her mom. Probably why Boruto cut himself off, especially since he only told Shikamaru dad, because Shikamaru already knew who Boruto was. That tracks. But then you have chapter 12, and in both translations he does the same thing. It's the exact opposite of chapter 5. He starts off with a respect title of Master Sasuke, cuts himself off, and says Old Man Sasuke instead, a name that Kawaki has never used for Sasuke, mind you, ever. And so that should just confuse people. Now I will have my interpretation at the end of this, but the other thing to note is that Boruto calls Konohamaru Master Konohamaru, a name Boruto has consistently used in part 1, and Kawaki has never used because Konohamaru was never Kawaki's master, and Kawaki doesn't refer to anyone as master. Not Naruto even, not Shikamaru. The best he got is Mr. Shikamaru. He doesn't use the word master. Both of these should just be confusing to everyone. And in light of chapter 7, it's like, okay, is Boruto trying to be his old self or not? It's kind of weird. The best interpretation I can offer, assuming this is all intentional and not just bad writing, is that Boruto's trying to be subtle. The Mitsuki one is too obvious. This is more subtle. He thinks he can get away with saying this and it not being too alarming, and so it's like weaving his way in the village without exposing Kawaki, essentially. This is basically like the TLDR of the video I'm going to do.
Okay.
But
that was a whole
there's
lot of
all that.
justification.
Yeah.
You mentioned the one thing I was definitely wanting to point out, in the fact that Kawaki would never call Sasuke old man regardless of master, so it's weird to change it regardless. My justification interpretation, assuming it's not bad writing, would be Boruto can't control how others look at him, so he's not going to desperately try and convince them or whatever. Rather, Boruto can control how he treats other people. And so, even if they don't look at him in the same way, Boruto can continue treating them in the same way to rebuild those bonds the way they were. Not to go back,
so
but
that
to build
works
them
for
back the way.
Konohamaru.
Yeah.
That works for Konohamaru, Master Konohamaru, and I'm
Yeah.
on board. But why cut himself off from Master Sasuke to Old Man Sasuke, though? That shouldn't... in that interpretation, he could use either one and it's fine. But
Yeah.
why switch from one to the other?
Yeah. So in chapter 3, he does it to
that's why I said,
Sarada.
okay,
When does he do it in
maybe
chapter
he's
3?
trying to be subtle because Old Man Sasuke is a little bit more friendly. I like a little bit more Boruto-y. Like I don't know what he's going for. It's kind of like the Kawaki thing, to where he says one thing and does another. He says, "Oh, I just want to beat up Kawaki." Then Kawaki shows up and he runs away. And the next time he sees Kawaki, when they're freaking busy with an invasion, he beats him up. It's just like, what are you going for?
So, I like your idea that Boruto's treating him with respect by calling him master as opposed to old man, but it's also interchangeable. Maybe he could do that. You mentioned in chapter 3 he does the opposite. Was he saying that to Sarada? He was saying old man, then he corrected himself to Master Sasuke?
He's saying it to himself.
To himself?
And it also, yeah, it's to himself. It's when he's standing in, well, I guess you could say he's saying it to Sasuke, the tree.
Okay.
Sasuke.
Yeah.
He's like grabbing the sword. He's like, I've got this old man master. And also, that's a good point. When he's talking to Sarada, this is the weirdest, but this is why I think he does the master intentionally. When he's talking to Sarada, someone who's A, not under omnipotence, and B, Sasuke's daughter, he doesn't call him Sasuke or old man Sasuke. He calls him not even Master Sasuke, just Master to Sarada.
Yeah.
That tells me he is going out of his way to be like that. Like, I will call him Master out of respect. I don't see why he would say that to Sarada otherwise.
Well, the other interpretation
why
is
would
he
say...
knows Sarada's immune to omnipotence, so he doesn't have to try to change himself or pretend to be whatever.
But he could just be natural then.
Well, he is to Sarada.
Well, I think he's going. I think he's trying to do the master thing out of respect, because he's calling him like in order to save Master, and I promise to save Master. Master was absorbed by a tree. It's not ever Master Sasuke or Old Man Sasuke. He's not even using the word. He's just saying Master to Sarada. It's just like,
that's funny if he actually meant someone else and Sarada didn't realize.
Yeah, he's actually talking about Kashingoji.
Yeah. But there's also another interpretation. He could be doing this out of respect specifically to Sarada, not only out of respect for what Sarada has done for him, giving him Sasuke and supporting him through this, but also the fact that Sarada is the child of Sasuke, his master.
Yeah, but I don't see how that affects calling a master. But either way, the biggest one is the tree scene, chapter 5. That just feels like that's like I mean, like I said, if you don't want to use the respect, then the remorse for the fact that Old Man Sasuke in Sasuke's memories isn't Boruto's nickname, and so he feels wrong about calling him that. It can be both or one or the other. Because, like I said, he's looking at the Sasuke tree. I've got this Old Man Sasuke. I mean, master. Like he's correcting himself. So,
well,
yeah.
I'm sure you agree. The chapter, by the way, it's not 3. It is either 4 or 5. I think it's 5. The chapter 5 flashback. Yeah, you were saying it was 3 earlier, but the chapter 5 flashback.
No, you said 3. I said 5. You said 3. I just didn't care to correct you because I knew you meant the same chapter that I was.
Well, I
referring to.
only said 3 because I was quoting you. Because I didn't.
Go back and stream.
I didn't
did not
realize
say
you
3.
were referring to the flashback thing. Since you said chapter 3, I thought you were referring to Sarada, which is why I said,
I
did you
didn't
mean
say
Sarada?
chapter 3, Oodie.
You definitely said
did
chapter
I say
3.
chapter 3? Go back and watch the stream.
You go back and watch it. You can do it.
I said there's 3. I said there were 3 scenes in
No,
particular that I was focusing on. If that's what confused you.
3 and 5 don't sound the same. You definitely said chapter 3. You just didn't realize.
I did not, bro.
You know what? Fine. You're going to play this game. I will go back on stream. I wasn't going to, but you're going to play this way. Fine. How far back do I need to go? 5 minutes? 4 minutes? So in chapter 3,
I
he
don't
does
know
it
when
to
you thought you
Sarada.
heard it, so.
So this is where I say chapter 3. So in chapter 3, he does it to Sarada.
Okay, that's
yeah,
probably a
I'm
couple minutes
questioning
ago.
He's doing it to
I can't hear.
Sarada.
If you're playing anything, I can't hear it.
Oh my god. Well, you're also talking over it, so no wonder you can't hear it. Okay.
There was no sound.
Oh, Kamui, you're gonna hate this. Oh, Kamui, you're gonna hate this so bad.
What?
So, wasn't it? So, Kamui, this was working the other night, right? There's no system sound to share. Where's the toggle? Because we got
maybe
it
you have to
working.
share first. Maybe just try sharing the thing first and see what happens.
I can share the audio on the Chrome tab, but not the window. Here, I'll share the audio or share the stream. You're not gonna be able to see me press this, but change windows. No, I don't have it on the window. I can share it on the tab. I can share the entire screen, but we already went over that. Here, I'll just share the tab.
My only guess is that the fact that you're streaming with Streamlabs has an effect that wasn't there last time.
That's possible. Either way, you should be able to hear it now.
It seems like he's cutting himself off because he's not trying to basically expose Kawaki, who he's not trying to conflict with Mitsuki's memories. Kawaki, in character, doesn't call Naruto Ninana mom and dad. He calls him Lord Seventh, and Hinata doesn't even have a name. Kawaki never refers to her by anything, but you can't call her mom. 7. I would have started with chapter 5, so you probably have to go back a little bit more.
Okay. How far back is this? We're not going 13 minutes back.
Probably because of A, what Sasuke did for him, and B, in Sasuke's memories.
We'll go back a little bit.
To say what exactly he was cutting himself off on, but that's another one.
Yeah.
He cuts himself off. But that one's the most tricky because we got too little. But in the other 3, individually, it's pretty straightforward to interpret what Boruto's probably thinking behind it. So for the first one, chapter 5.
Okay, shut up.
5.
Whatever. You're wrong. I don't care.
Anyway. But yeah. I guess that kind of covers that.
So yeah, in the chapter 5 flashback thing, like I was saying, he's obviously not correcting himself. He is, but not because like, oh, I can't say this in front of Sasuke. Omnipotence. It's not a correction. It's like a resolve. It's like a change rather than a correction. Because he wasn't.
Well, he corrected himself because he said the wrong. I mean, yeah, it is a change.
Well, he wasn't
but it was
stopping
in
himself.
That scene.
Unlike the other scenes where
Yes,
he's
he
like,
was.
oh, I can't say this. I got to say this instead. He
In
changed
the
his
Viz,
mind.
at least, he is straight up stopping himself mid-word.
You're being pedantic and defensive when you know what I mean.
Well, but no, he is stopping himself though. And
The
correcting
difference here is
himself.
he's making up his mind. He's changing it for him, not for others around it, but for him.
I would agree if not for earlier in the flashback, him calling him master multiple times, telling me that was a slip up when he called him old man Sasuke before correcting himself back
No,
to
I don't
master.
think so because he calls him master in part 1 as well. I think it means something
No, he doesn't.
different
When?
to him.
When does he call him
all
master?
the time?
When does he call Sasuke?
all
No, he
the
doesn't. He always
time
calls him
since
old
the
man
frickin'
Sasuke.
Momoshiki arc.
I don't think he calls him master in part 1. He calls Konohamaru master, but I don't think he calls Sasuke master at all. I think he only uses old man Sasuke.
I'm pretty sure he does, but whatever.
I'll go ahead and look in the Momoshiki arc. When in the Momoshiki arc do you think he would do it?
I don't know. It's just all the time.
He says old man Sasuke, bro. I'm telling you, I already looked.
Whatever. That's like, can you name one instance off the top of your head where Naruto says Databayo? No, I don't know where specifically to go. Just the first 25 episodes.
Bro,
Anyway,
Naruto
yeah.
says it every sentence.
Exactly.
But Boruto doesn't do that with Sasuke.
Whatever you say.
Here's another one. Chapter 16. Sorry, not dad. Boruto, old man Sasuke. It only says old man Sasuke.
You can find old man Sasuke. I'm not doubting that. He also says master.
Every scene, he just randomly sees Sasuke, calls him old man Sasuke.
Okay, Naruto calls Jiraiya pervy sage. He also calls him master.
Yeah, Naruto does both. Usually pervy sage.
So does Boruto, bro.
In fact, Naruto only calls Jiraiya master to Nagato. He didn't call it to Jiraiya.
How do I do a freaking?
But anyway, no, Boruto doesn't call him master before the time skip.
Why are you so confident he doesn't do it even once? That's crazy.
Because I don't recall it, and you know how I read things, and I've been looking back for it, and I haven't been able to find it.
Yeah, and you're usually wrong. There. Started a
That's
poll.
not true, Oodie. I'm usually right. Who is right? The last thing we just looked for? Me, exactly.
No, it's just because I gave up on looking for it.
That's not true, Oodie. You literally said shut up when you knew you were wrong.
Well, no, I said shut up when the thing that you wanted to happen happened. The thing I wanted to happen was still in there.
No, it's not.
Just didn't feel like looking for it.
It's not true anyway. Oodie, I'll leave it up to you. Find the singular scene where he calls him master. In part 1, I don't even know if he says it in chapter 80, which would be the time for him to start doing this shit. And I don't even think he does it then. I think he still says old man Sasuke.
I think he starts it in chapter 8 is the most disingenuous thing I've ever heard. Man, isn't it interesting how one person
Yeah, he doesn't even do it then. Even in chapter 80, he says old man Sasuke.
Then Kamui, I
Or
wonder
Uncle
who voted.
Sasuke.
Is that crazy?
Huh? Who voted what?
Yeah, okay. Plain innocent.
Even Uncle Sasuke again, bro. He says Uncle Sasuke both times in chapter 80.
Kamui, what's the point of the Shinju?
Oh, we don't know yet.
Well, neither does J-Man.
Okay.
Bro, I don't
Can
see
you
how you
share
don't
your
see
screen
this
so I can see the
master thing
podcast topics?
different. Sure, I'll share my screen. How do you not get the master thing? I don't understand. He's seeing him as different.
What do you mean? What am I not getting?
He was calling
What
him
am I not
master
getting?
before, and he considered a master, but he considered master in a much different way. Now he considers a master much deeper. Now he's actually his genuine, full-fledged master.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
Well, I'm glad you
I'm
agree.
saying that he didn't call him master, and that is a fact.
Just because you say it's not a fact.
He does see him. He saw him as his master, duh, and he sees him as in a different way now, duh. I already said that. That's why he's giving him the title of respect. Because he sees him in a different way. But he never called him Master Sasuke before. He only said Uncle Sasuke, Old Man Sasuke. Now he's trying to say Master Sasuke because he sees him in a deeper way. We agree.
He even calls him master more in the anime than the manga.
I don't know in the anime. I don't remember. I'll admit that one. He might say it all the time in the anime. But in the manga, he never does it before the time skip.
Bro, I don't know why you treat the manga like it's the freaking god source, high and mighty, best thing of all time.
I treat it like
so
it's a
better.
different story from the anime like you do.
The anime is more better in every instance.
Oodie, we are reading the Boruto TBV Vortex manga. So I'm going to reference the Boruto manga, not the anime that is a completely different story that has completely different character arcs at completely different times and completely different plot points.
Bro, I don't care about the manga.
You see the conundrum here. Why would I reference the anime at this point in the game? The anime that has a fucking Jogan PRI bullshit that doesn't exist in the manga. Why would I reference the anime?
You say that like the Jogan's the problem and not the manga.
Arc, 200 episodes, 300 episodes at this point, before the Boruto manga gets to it. Why would I reference that anime at this point in the game?
Yeah, and you know what? The anime has only covered the good content. All the bad content's in the manga. The Boruto even took the bad stuff and made it better, like the Owl arc.
That's fine, but we're covering the bad stuff, so we gotta reference the other bad stuff.
We don't have to reference the other bad stuff.
Yes, you do, Oodie, because if Platinum End is bad, I'm not going to reference Death Note for a Platinum End plot point.
You would absolutely do that in a comparison.
You can make comparisons, but I'm not going to reference a scene of Death Note as a plot point that is in Platinum End.
Those are different series.
At this point, the Boruto anime is Death Note, and the Boruto manga is Platinum End.
These are the same series, though. Like, it's not like Platinum's in a different...
No, they're not! No, they're not the same series. They're the same franchise, but they're a different series. We've been over this. We tell this to every guest.
They're a different story, but it's the same series.
No, TBV Vortex is a different series from the Boruto Naruto Next Generations anime. Completely different series.
You know what? Fine, just because I want to agree now. I'm mad about it, but I'll angrily agree.
Same franchise, different series.
Okay. Jura is going to show up next chapter compared to Hidari.
What does that mean?
I thought it was a cool
okay.
quote.
You mean show up as in like mellow stand up business?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. But I think it's a lot funnier if he means
literally
show up. Yeah.
It's like, what is he talking about? He already did show up. He's just gonna show up more.
Ironically, this is a Hidari focused chapter. Oh my god, what's Jura gonna do next chapter? Gee. Do we want to cover this now? This might be a while. How much more do we want to?
We should honestly end.
This? You're not wrong. This one's funny enough to do right now. It's going to be really quick. Okay. You know this was something Pregame wrote. So Cloud Ninja Podcast title.
Yeah.
TBV Vortex Chapter 12 Review. Boruto Must Die. Thorn, Horn, Soul, Bulb, Key. So Kamui, what is a Thorn, Horn, Soul, Bulb, Key?
Thorn. I mean, the Thorn Horn on its own kind of slaps, but Thorn Horn Soul Bulb just loses it. Honestly, The bulb. I don't like the bulb.
I do think
Thorn
bulb is
soul?
separate.
That sounds cool.
No,
Thorn
soul.
horn, sword cool. Horn soul sounds cool. But the moment you add the bulb, it just sounds dumb.
I don't think
But now
bulb is
that
a
brings back to the
part
question
of
at
it.
hand. We have the thorn horn and the soul of the thorn horn, and its bulb that shines brightly into the key. Maybe the light is the key, but it's not just the key. It is the key of the key, which will then, what's the rest of the title say?
2...
Okay, so it's the key to Boruto us dying.
I love the idea
Chapter
of
12.
a key to a key. So it's a key that unlocks a key that will allow the unlocked key to unlock the lock.
Yes, of when the lock is Boruto dying.
No, but I do think Thorn Soul Bulb, they do say it with those 3 words in that order, but I do think Bulb is separated from Thorn Soul. The Thorn Soul happens to be a bulb.
I agree, but I just don't like those 3 words together.
I know, it's way too
It just
ridiculous.
doesn't sound cool.
Yeah. So,
like Soul Bulb, they're just not a good triplet word for a name. It doesn't have a nice ring to it.
I know. But Kamui, can we just agree right now, moving forward, whenever we have a guest on, we have to, without context, always refer to this as a 2 keys might be too extreme, but a Thornhorn Soul Bulb key. Those 5 words. Can we just commit ourselves to that from now on?
Put it in the pinned comments so that way we can try to remember.
Okay.
The Thornhorn Soul Bulb Kiki. Okay, I think Kiki is too obvious. Thornhorn Soul Bulb Key. And then if they question it, be like, "What do you mean?" And then like when if they really press it, like should we reference this title as if it's in the manga?
I guess.
I just don't like. Oh, you haven't seen this?
It's in the manga.
Yeah, it's in the manga.
When was the last time you read the manga? Make them feel like they're the problem. So good.
Thornhorn Soul Bulb Key.
Just key
Actually, we
emoji.
should ask Free Game about the what happened with the Cloud podcast.
That's a good point.
We
Yeah.
just Bara. Actually, you know what? We should have
That's
Bara
okay.
as our guest already, and then we'll have him explain.
Okay. Here's a chapter 12 rating from Keto. Everyone loved it. Everyone loved it. Not surprised, but it just hurts to see.
But yeah, people would never.
It just hurts to see. From 4K votes. 80%, 16, 2, and 3. But yeah. Hurts to see. Just go from the screen, okay. Am I good to start deleting these topics as I cover them?
Oh yeah, the ones. Yeah, the earlier one was just because I just didn't get a chance to reread it.
Oh my god, I could have been deleting this whole time. Do I want to leave this for free game's sake? We'll put this in intro topics just for free game.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to know if the Cloud podcast is actually done or not.
Yeah. Makes me glad I actually watched them all. Since we talked about Mello earlier, we'll do this one really quick. So Mello was pinning a comment or something, I think? Yeah, probably. The answer is simple. She thinks the Chidori is a finishing move, so she deactivates it because from her perspective, the fight is over. And to move forward. This was Mello saying this.
Yeah.
So why didn't Sarada use her Sharingan in this chapter then? Because the fight's not over.
Yeah, but she realized that the
doesn't
fight
think so.
isn't over.
Yeah. So there you go.
Oh, this is funny. The last live podcast is the Everyone Cooks Oodie podcast.
That's crazy.
And the last video is the one where we It's funny that Free Game did not win that debate, the War and Naruto debate. I'm sorry.
I know, bro. That's so funny.
Like, it was a stupid premise, and I was well aware of that. I was just doing a stupid premise, but like, he did not cook. I was like, bro, you did not counter. It was too high.
I think we already talked about this. A contradiction. Uzuhiko is limitless, yet has a maximum output. Do we want to talk about this with a guess? Why did I write this down?
Yeah.
We talked about this, and then I think you or me told me to write this down, and so I did. Maybe we'll talk about it with another guess. I'll just leave it for now. So, Six Paths Dunga, with 534 votes on this community poll, who will fight Jura in Chapter 13? Borushiki, Boruto, Kawaki, or Damon? He got 70% for Borushiki, 7% for Boruto, 14% for Kawaki, 9% for Damon. Who do you think? Probably gonna be multiple people, but that's besides the point.
Probably multiple people will fight, but I do think Kawaki or Borushiki probably are the two most likely. I mean, Boruto can just get back up, but then it's such an ass cliffhanger from the previous chapter. If Boruto's just fine, it gets right back up.
See, my problem is Jura's clearly not interested in going over there. So, like, if anyone tries to bum rush
is he even gonna fight
Kawaki,
them?
But hypothetically,
is he just gonna leave?
What I was thinking, Kawaki tries to bum rush him. He's not making out of the village before he's being sniped by Jura. Like, Jura doesn't have to move. Jura just can stand there and snipe anyone who contests him right now. The only one who can do
doesn't matter if he
Delta.
keeps missing. Eventually, he's gonna hit.
Like, I don't think it's draining him of chakra. Like, he barely missed Boruto's vitals, so like, it's not like he's gonna miss by a lot.
Yeah, like bro can just like snipe Boruto until he hits him.
Yeah, that as well. Like, Boruto's on the floor. Why isn't why did he snipe Sarada next? Just snipe Boruto again instead, and then snipe Sarada. It's not like she can do anything.
Yeah. He's trying to get the Thorsel, which I get, but like logically, it just makes more sense to finish Boruto off. Now, I could see a thing to where he tries to snipe Boruto, Kawaki like protects him with his ninja tech shield and whatnot. And then if that happens, okay, Jura just flies over and beats his ass. Like, I don't frankly, Jura doesn't care if any of those people live, so he can just Biju bomb them like a full-on Biju blast if he really wants. But then, like, let's just say Jura just leaves. While he can just come back to kill Boruto later, it's just weird to have that declaration if the first thing he does is just leave without killing Boruto.
We would make fun of that in the abridged, though. For sure.
Yeah.
My chance has finally come! Boruto, your day is at an end! Then he leaves. Teleports away.
Yeah. But not till tomorrow.
The fate has finally caught up with you, but that fate is not me. Not now.
Yeah. It seems your fate has finally come to an end. In the future, that is.
Oh my god. Yeah, so I get what you're saying, that Jura's trying to get the Thorn Soul, Bulb Horn Key, but like, what does it matter if Sarado holds it for 2 seconds? Even if she tries to run away, she's not getting away.
The other thing is, I mean, this kind of applies in either case, but first of all, do you think the Thorn Soul flew to Jura, or do you think Jura sucked it up?
We've talked about this. I don't know, and I want to wait till next chapter, but like, I don't want to. I don't know. I mean,
but in either case, though, I feel like it wouldn't really matter, because if Jura sucks it up, he could probably just suck it out of Sarada's hand.
That's what
and
I was
if the
thinking.
Thorn Soul moved on its own, it can probably startle Sarada by flying out of her hand. The same way that Kinshiki flew out of the ceiling jutsu from the 5 Kage
Exactly.
to turn into a fruit. Like, they just do the same thing. Just rip it out of Sarada's hand.
Exactly, bro. It seems like Jura sucked it up, but I don't know. It could be either way. It really could be either way.
It
I'm
could
really
be either,
split.
but I still, yeah, in either case, though, just kill Boruto, then deal with that later.
Exactly. We'll delete that. Okay.
But yeah.
Back.
It's just, I hate to say it, it's just weird for Boruto to just be perfectly fine. Like, Boruto can fight Jura, but because of how they edit the chapter, I feel like he just has to be, like, injured or something. Like,
why are these not in intro topics, or are they? I don't know. It's weird. There's a couple down here that we should have addressed as well. Did you have any that you wanted to address that you wrote down recently?
there's the one I sent, it's at the bottom, probably.
Well,
I guess the one I mentioned to you in DMs. I said I wrote in podcast topics too.
does Ada need to touch an Otsutsuki to use omnipotence?
No, the other one.
Okay. If Code's chakra turned the right. If Code's chakra turned the Ten Tails into a divine tree, I feel like we already talked about this in the end, so we can talk about it again. Or at least partway there, and devouring a human and eating their chakra turns a Clawgrime into a tree, and a divine tree absorbing people's chakra forms a chakra fruit. So much. Why do the Shinju even exist? / why does the Ten Tails have sentience? / why would giving a Clawgrime Sasuke's chakra turn it into Hidari rather than another defective tree? I hope you know this is all one sentence.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Right, okay. So, what I don't...
Last part. Our theory is that you give a Clawgrime the Thorn Soul or Sasuke's chakra, whatever, and it turns into Hidari. So if it's a regular Clawgrime, why doesn't it just turn into a tree? Because you could say eating chakra is different from absorbing, except for the fact that, according to Boruto's theory at least, what's happening to the Clawgrime is they're turning into divine trees, seemingly because Code is some level of Otsutsuki-ness about him. He's not full Otsutsuki, so it doesn't do it properly, but it's doing something in between. That tells you that it doesn't really matter if it devours or absorbs, based off that theory anyway.
Right.
So the Clawgrime should just turn into another tree. Now, if it's an evolved Clawgrime and it has a different effect, I'm more okay with that. But then the question is, when you give a tree chakra, it forms a chakra fruit. It doesn't turn into a person. So why is it doing that anyway?
So, I agree. So the answer to your question is that the Shinju have something else added that we don't know, but is just there. Because it's not the chakra of the person, it's not Code's chakra, it's not the claw marks, because all of them have that. It's something else, we just don't know what it is. It might be something completely brand new entirely. It could be the Ten Tails off-lofavlob organ.
But why don't the Ten Tails already have that then?
Well, the Ten Tails would have it, right? Because the Clawgrimes is the Ten Tails.
Okay, so then why don't they turn into a tree and they instead turn into Hidari?
Yeah. So it could be a limited number of
Seems like the ingredients are all the
Aflofaflog
same.
organs. Which is possible.
So in theory, I mean, that's what I said, like with the limited number thing. The problem, so I could just say that, like, normally this is what happens, but like the Ten Tails is choosing to make bodyguards instead of absorbing chakra. So it's like it's consciously choosing to make a Hidari instead of a tree. But like,
In which
why does
case,
it have the ability to be either or?
in which case, I think it would be healing the Thorn Soul rather than creating Hidari, because then Hidari wouldn't care to go back to heal. Hidari would just fight to the death, and then the whatever god tree thing roots would just poop out another one. It wouldn't need to only heal Hidari. I don't think it can heal Hidari without the Thorn Soul. And if Jura just brings back the bare Thorn Soul as it is now, I think it could just restore Hidari entirely. As much as that makes the Claw Grind.
That's what I think. Yeah, I think it would just. And it is more than one way it might work. It might be a matter of he gives it to another Claw Grind. It might be a matter of the Divine Tree touches it and then it forms Hidari's body again.
Yeah.
Either or.
I don't think it can do it without Hidari. Or without the Thorn Soul. So the special thing...
No, I agree. But what I'm saying is... But I'm saying, like, for the restoration of Hidari, hypothetically he comes back, do you think Jura's going to A, put the Thorn Soul on the Clawmark Cube, Divine Tree comes down, touches it, rebuilds Hidari's body, that's option A, or option B, Jura is going to feed or stick the Thorn Soul into another Claw Grind, and it will just turn into another Hidari.
It could be both.
Do you think option A or B?
Could be both, to where he... Well, actually, you might like this. Instead of, like, feeding it or just jabbing it into it, he might get a Claw Grime and put it inside of the Claw Grime's claw mark. And just, like, insert it in that weird way.
Okay, yeah. But that wouldn't be both. That's one or the other. That would be option B then.
Well, no, I didn't get to the other part of that. So then... that Claw Grime with the Thorn Soul goes to the Tintails, and the roots restore him the way he was. Rather than it just being an automatic process.
That can work.
But why?
But, like, that just feels unnecessary at that point.
I agree. It's
Wait,
also...
what's the point? Like, because then, okay, so is it the Divine Tree making it into Hidari, or is it the Thorn Soul?
Well, as I was saying it, I was thinking of another possibility, which is why I stopped. I didn't even consider saying the second part of it, which is why you started questioning, oh, that's only part B. It's because I got excited. Okay, so he's inserting it into not even a Claw Grime, just any claw mark. It could be on a Claw Grime, but the point is, he's inserting the Soul Thorn into a claw mark. Listen. I don't even care if they don't explain it. This would just look cool. As he's inserting it, Hidari comes out of the cube. Like, he's pushing it in, inserting it.
That would be super cool.
Yeah, like it's half. Like he has half of the fruit in, and we cut to the Tintails dimension to where half of Hidari is just sticking out of the cube. And he pushes it all the way in, and Hidari like jumps.
I like imagine he just sticks it into one of the claw marks on his body, and then Hidari just comes out of the cube. That would be cool.
Yeah. I don't even care if they don't explain that.
Yeah, that would be fucking cool shit.
Okay.
It wouldn't make sense given how Hidari healed before. It wasn't about coming out of the cube. It just would be cool.
Yeah. So, okay. Was that all on that one?
Well, there's other aspects, like why are they gaining sentience?
Oh, right. Okay, right.
Instead of just becoming a tree.
I had a thing here. Yeah, okay. So, like I was saying, the Offlaflavlog organ is the new thing that we don't even know exists yet. That's the new added thing, possibly. So, I could be right, but instead of Offlaflav organ, what if it is the Soul Thorn? And the Tintails has a limited number of... And in fact, Bulb would be better for it, since I think the Bulb is referencing the actual black outer shell rather than the soul or the thorn. So it has a limited number of bulbs, and when it's pinched off, a certain number of the Claw Grimes have the bulbs. In fact, maybe those are the ones that started evolving anyways.
Yeah.
So that's a possibility, since like a plant would only have a certain number of bulbs anyways.
Well, yeah, and that answers like why only a certain number of Shinju can exist and all. That has nothing to do with the sentience part, though.
Well, the bulb would be that added element to where the bulb has it somehow. Whatever it is. Oh, where's the sentience being born from? Why is it different sentience, but it's the same body? I don't get it. I don't understand. I mean, it seems like the sentience coming from the chakra, considering it's like the memories of the person or whatever. They are that person. Not just in body, but in mind.
from code.
Because that's the thing. It is not just body, it's also mind. It's both aspects. They're not only gaining the, like, memory, personality, whatever, soul of the person, they're also gaining the body features of the person as well. To some extent.
Sorry, can you say that again? I'm just gonna play my laptop out loud. My headphones died.
So it's both aspects. They're not just gaining the, like, mental aspect of the person, they're also gaining the physical aspect of the person.
Yeah.
And I feel like those are two different processes. I don't think the chakra should be able to do both. If the chakra's doing the memory, whatever, personality, whatever, but it wouldn't do the physical body, so where's that coming from?
So the problem is there's both a precedent for this and a precedent against this, and an aspect of it not making sense. So, like, for example, the chakra of the Nine Tails. It does affect Naruto's body. It makes him grow bigger whiskers. It makes him grow claws and fangs and so on. The chakra of Ishiki makes Kawaki and Jigen grow a horn. Same with Momoshiki and Boruto. And so on and so forth. There is a precedent for that. Granted, those are specific characters with specific features. We've never, like, Yoroi didn't start to look like Sasuke when he absorbed Sasuke's chakra, though. Like,
and I was thinking, like, it's also the opposite in some cases. Like, in Momoshiki's case, he looks less like Kinshiki, especially in the movies. I feel like there's some instances where it's the opposite.
If anything, in the manga, he looks less like Kinshiki than he did before. In the movie, you could argue he looks a little bit more like Kinshiki than he did before.
I completely disagree. I think he looks less like Kinshiki in the movie more than in the manga.
Well, at least he got big and strong and jacked like Kinshiki.
And he turned red and had, like, a weird pointy chin.
Okay, and in the manga, he doesn't get any more jacked, and he gets a bunch of black paint all over his face that Kinshiki didn't have, and a third eye, golden eye that Kinshiki didn't have, and curvy pointed outward horns that Kinshiki didn't have. What was the Kinshiki-like addition there? At least in the movie, I could say big muscles. In the manga, there's none.
Bro, you just have a bias towards muscles, let's be honest.
Huh?
You just have a bias towards big and a bias towards muscles. Let's be honest.
No, I'm saying that is more that between the two, the movie is closer. In the movie, Momoshiki at least gains one Kinshiki attribute, the big strongness. But in the manga, he doesn't gain that attribute. He literally gains like his ability, the weapons, but physicals, like appearances, he doesn't gain any Kinshiki attributes, appearance-wise.
Chat, you have to answer this for us. Does Momoshiki, how do I word this, look more like Kinshiki, or I should say Fuse Momoshiki, obviously.
I mean, and if you want to get tactical, in the movie, Kinshiki was red before Momoshiki ate him.
That's so stupid.
So you gotta factor that in.
Okay, before I submit this question, are you okay with this question? Are you not going to end it yourself to ask your own version of the same question?
What's the wording you put?
Does fused Momoshiki look more like Kinshiki in the movie or manga? That's the simplest way I can ask it.
I'm fine with you wording it that way for the first round.
He says fine for the first round. Okay. Whatever.
The second round's only if I need it.
Stupid. Okay. I have a prediction, and I don't have any elaboration or reasoning for this prediction. It's just intuition, gut feeling. I don't even know what's going to happen afterwards. I don't even care. My prediction. Code will get Bug's Soulthorn. I just think that's going to happen.
So I was wondering out of curiosity. I remember I asked you about a sentence and I elaborated when you asked for clarification. And it was about Kawaki getting Matsuris and Code getting Bug's Soulthorn. I was curious if that in any way inspired you to post on podcast topics afterwards, because the order was in that order, or if you forgot and did it again.
Maybe subconsciously, but I think I forgot. I don't remember exactly though. It's the problem right now.
Yeah, 'cause I saw that. I was like, bro, I was just talking to you about that sort of the other day.
But like,
because like I said, I like the idea that Code gets Bug's Soulthorn and Kawaki gets Matsuris, and whether they eat or whatever they do with it, they each do something with it.
Yeah.
Make it that you get stronger because of it. I don't care. The point is they do something and somehow it makes them stronger. I'd be on board for it.
Yeah.
Both are trying to do the Yotsuki path in their own ways, essentially. So I think that works.
Yeah, again, I don't have an elaboration for this. I have no reasoning for thinking this. I have no explanation for what he's going to do once he gets it. He could do it. I just think it's gonna happen for no reason. Not that
out of curiosity,
for no reason. I think it's
do
for
you
no reason.
think Bug's target should have been Code instead of Ada?
That could have been really cool, and the reason that he leaves.
It would have been, and it would have like
I think I prefer that.
Worked. I think for Bug to choose Code, the guy he was hanging out with for a while, like the reason he got eaten in the first place.
Yeah, my question is, do you think he would still leave in this case? Because Boruto is just straight up right when he says they're gonna kill you too.
Well, Code doesn't know that he's Bug's target in this case.
True.
And Bug hasn't chosen target yet.
True. This would also be interesting because this would be a Shinju confronting their target before they realize it's their target, which does confirm things that we've talked about.
Yeah.
But since it's a hypothetical, this doesn't actually confirm anything right now.
Yeah. And he's also not his target. So, yeah, unfortunately.
So if you don't
that could have been interesting, yeah.
If you don't talk about this now, you're gonna forget it. Your cinematic horror movie dream.
Oh, I wrote it down.
Okay, we can talk about it another time if you want.
Yeah. I woke up. I was like, I know I'm gonna have trouble going back to sleep. But I wrote down whatever I could remember, and I just want to. We could end with it.
I mean, sounds like you want to talk about it.
Holy moly, I wrote more than I realized.
Okay, do you want to end with it, or do you want to not end with it?
I want to end as soon as possible. So if that's the best way to end it, we'll do it. Or if you're fine with ending as is, then we'll end as is.
Okay, we'll do this last one and then yours. Daigo Knight 40 minutes ago with 9.8k votes in 40 minutes. Oh my god. Do you consider Boruto canon? 29% say yes. I thought this was hilarious, especially from Daigo Knight. I love this. To be fair, it's 4 options. 38% say no. 14% say only a few parts. 19% I don't even consider Kaguya canon. So technically this is a no, but technically only 38% of people say no, which is the minority. Be reasonable, but no, I just thought it was funny. 29% say yes. I love that. Freaking 10K people.
It's ridiculous.
But okay. We've cleared out a lot of topics tonight, so even if we didn't get to reactions, I feel happy with this. Didn't even finish all of the topics. But
Bro, we have so many more chapter 12 topics than we realized.
I know. The same thing, yeah. I feel like we already talked about that. Screw on evidence is the most generational 180 I've ever seen. You could just do this really quick. Well, it's not chapter 12. We could wait if you want. You want to do this one? Get out of the way or no?
What is it?
Screw omnipotence. This is the most generational 180 I've ever seen. We're already talking about. We might as well do this one. It's clearing them out. I'm just trying to speed run these topics. Yeah. So Kawaki in chapter 2.
Yeah.
Well, this is your topic. Do you want to say it or me?
Yeah,
That's
Walky chapter 2. Otsutsuki being called that pisses me off the most. Then in chapter 4, so I'm just like, that's real rich coming from you, another Otsutsuki. And what does Kawaki say? I'm an Otsutsuki. Otsutsuki. Yeah, you're right, Sarada. I am an Otsutsuki. I'm not mad at you for saying it.
Like, the claw grime wasn't even directing it necessarily to Kawaki. He just said out loud Otsutsuki, but Sarada was like, you, Kawaki, are an Otsutsuki. How ironic, Kawaki. Like, specifically degrading, mocking him, like, making fun of Kawaki because he's Otsutsuki, as opposed to Shinju. Instead, like, why they should have reversed these two, honestly. Kawaki to the claw grime should have been like, I'm an Otsutsuki killing, like, that would have gone hard saying
You
it
should be like,
to
Otsutsuki,
an
eh?
Otsutsuki thing.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, you're right. One that kills Otsutsuki like you. And then
Yeah, bro.
And then with Sarada be like, Otsutsuki being called that pisses me off. Don't call me that
Literally.
again or something. Or if you're
Literally.
like, not in Otsutsuki Sarada or something like it's just like yeah, I don't know. Like
Works so much better. Plus the fact that he has his his curse mark karma activated here. Like, I feel like he would be more willing to be like, oh yeah, I'm an Otsutsuki when he has it activated. Unlike in base, he'd probably be like, yeah, I hate it.
like well, what's with the 180?
It's the most generational 180 you've ever seen.
Yeah, like bro.
Oh my god.
Kishimoto would never.
Bro, we honestly need to reference this. I'm putting this in podcast in intro topics. We need to reference this anytime anyone has a problem with us saying Boruto doesn't make sense. Like, I think this might be unironically, the most easy to understand blatant example there is.
Yeah.
Like, it might be a pedantic nitpick or whatever, but of all the pedantic nitpicks, this is easily the most obvious, in my opinion. Sure, everyone else is gonna disagree.
Like, bro, like the code is another one though, I do think, but this is like so blatant, just like 180.
Yeah. The code one a little bit more arguable, I think. Do this just really quick. I'm sure trying to get a lot of the pictures out of the way since they're so big. Kishimoto got quoted in a screenwriting book. This is Character Arcs by K.M. Weiland. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've referenced this book before on the podcast, which is funny. So Kishimoto's quote, in a screenwriting book, so this is in reference to screenwriting, which I think is interesting. We have walked through the darkness of this world. That's why we are able to see even a sliver of light. I thought that was interesting. Shout out Kishimoto. I think there's a much bigger discussion here to talk about in reference to a lot of Naruto scenes. I would use this in reference to Madara as well, but we're not doing that right now.
It felt similar to something a character would have said. Madara wouldn't be the character who would have said it. I don't know. I was wondering if a character said it, but I couldn't decide who would have been the one
Well, I'm
to
not.
say it.
I'm not saying this in reference to something Madara would have said in character. I'm saying from Kishimoto's
I know.
perspective.
I'm talking about something separate.
Okay, yeah, this would be like just in. This would be used in a conversation revolving around Madara, but not right now. It's not.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I've stalled / cleared as many topics as I can for now. Unless you wanted to cover this one. What is this?
No, I'm fine with ending whenever. This is 3 hours later than the original intent, so.
Okay. Yeah, we don't have to do that. Okay. And that said, thank you everyone so much for watching. This has been a failure of a short podcast, but we covered a lot, so I don't know, maybe it was worth it. I don't know, maybe we're terrible. Either way, we covered most of Chapter 12. Didn't get to the reactions like we were hoping to. Next time, I see no reason why we can't cover the rest of Chapter 12 and then end with the reactions. And
Well,
by
I can't
next...
see a reason.
Listen.
Because us.
That's beside the point. And by next time, I don't mean literally next time. It could be next time, but I mean next time we cover Boruto. Like, hypothetically, if next time it's JJK, then that obviously doesn't apply. But, like, I don't know what next time is or when next time is. But, yeah. Should be next week, which would be before Chapter 13 comes out. So it's probably going to be the last podcast before Chapter 13. And I don't want to react to Chapter 13 live on stream. Just going to get that out there now, beforehand. But that's all for now. Thanks. Shout out Blue Star Saber. Do you want to do our outro for us? He hates me now. He said no. Okay. Fair enough. All right. Thanks for watching. And over and out.
Wonder why he didn't want to do the outro. That's weird.
Probably because he literally just joined.